Let's bring this meeting to order, please. Yes, sir. Mr. Porter, can you please give us an intake?
God of the universe, look thou with favor upon these here assembled, and bestow thy guidance upon the members of the governing body in their deliberations. This we ask in thy name. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
In the event of an emergency, the proper method of exiting the council chambers is through these doors in the rear. Calmly, everybody will step down and get away from the building. Any member of the public wishing to speak during the public comment session at the end of the meeting, please sign in on the white sheets provided at the front of the room. If any member of the public wishes to speak during the public hearing regarding the 2017 city budget, please sign in on the pink sheets. All cell phones, please turn them off. They're annoying and they're disrespectful. I'm going to start collecting them because I need the new one. So, Mr. Clerk, please, let's call the roll.
Mrs. Ormond?
Here.
Javik?
Here.
Brown?
Here.
Brooks?
Here.
Cosby Hurling? Sadowski?
Yes.
Strano?
Here.
Yemakaitis?
Here.
Medina?
Here.
Hickey?
Here.
Mr. Alvarez?
Here. At this time, we're going to have the public hearing in the 2017, sorry. Let's approve the minutes of June 20th, 2017, the regular meeting.
Council President, I call for the approval of the minutes of June 27, 2017, and ask for a second.
Second.
Mrs. Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Brooks?
Yes.
Cosby Hurling?
I'll abstain.
Sadowski?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Yes.
Yemakaitis? Medina?
Yes.
Hickey?
Yes.
Mr. Alvarez?
Yes. At this time, we have the public hearing in the 2017, the City of Linden budget. So I'm going to call down our CFO, Mrs. Sack, to present our budget. Whoa.
Good evening, everyone. I wanted to take this opportunity to thank the mayor and council for allowing me to present the 2017 municipal budget. Councilman Strano is chairman of the Finance Committee, along with members of Councilman Brown, Councilman Javik, and Councilman Sadowski, who have worked tirelessly to bring this budget down as far as they possibly could without impacting the services that are provided to the residents. The 2017 municipal budget is broken into two separate operating categories. The salary and wages, which is $47,301,708, covers all 595 employees, 496 full-time and 99 part-time. Of those 99, 55 are school guards. The salary and wages also include any type of overtime that any department would have in their budget. The other expense category is $61,854,885.33, which includes all our statutory expenses, our debt service, as well as all the operational expenses to run the day-to-day operations of every department within the city of Linden, for a grand total of $109,156,593.33. This pie chart shows exactly where the appropriations are going, and the 9 categories that we break down the appropriations to show you. The largest is our public safety departments, which we have a fully paid, state-of-the-art fire department, police department that are second to none in the state of New Jersey. Our central dispatch department, as well as our OEM, are all included in the public safety aspect, which is illustrated in the purple number 1, which represents $32,887,742. That's salary, wages, and other expenses to operate our public safety departments, or roughly 30.13% of the total budget. Our second largest category is our insurances. This includes our health insurance, general insurance, and our workers' compensation insurance at $18,811,200, or roughly 17.23% of the total appropriations. The third largest category is our Public Properties Department, which encompasses many divisions from Public Works to Municipal Garage to Transportation and Parking to Parks and Recreation, at $13,555,420, or roughly 12.42%. This department has had the largest decrease in manpower over the last 10 years through the various reorganizations and restructurings that the governing body's been trying to do. The fourth largest category is our statutory expenses, which is where our pension obligations, our unemployment, and our FICA are paid out of, which total $13,205,574.05, or roughly 12.10% of the total budget. The next category is our debt service at $11,629,500, or roughly 10.65%. The City of Linden tries to keep a level debt service. As debt service drops off, we then go for permanent financing for bonds. So therefore, we try to keep a consistent debt service. The sixth category is our general government, which comprises of all other departments that are not categorized in the department, from the mayor's office to the city clerk's office to the finance department to the Board of Health to the welfare department. The general government totals $10,868,747.71, or roughly 9.96% of the total appropriations. The seventh category is what's called Reserve for Uncollected Taxes. The budget's $4,057,128, or roughly 3.72%. As a municipality, we have to collect 100%, we have to hand over 100% of the tax levy for the County of Union, for the Board of Education, and for the state minimum for the library. The Reserve for Uncollected Taxes is a necessary budget item for municipalities, as no municipality ever collects 100%. Our tax collection rate is over 98%, which is a very significant number for a municipality. The eighth category is our utilities, which cover 23 of our facilities at $2,332,760, or roughly 2.14%. We've been fortunate enough to be able to reduce our electric through a co-op with the Sewerage Authority that's been able to assist us with the utilities remaining level. And the last category, but certainly not least, is our library appropriation. The state minimum mandate that we have to budget is $1,808,521.57, or roughly 1.66%. Later on, after the budget hearing, there will be a resolution to increase the library to amend the budget by an additional $125,000. We wanted to show the breakdown as to where your municipal tax goes and what the governing body has control over. The blue part shows your municipal amount to be raised by taxation, which is $60,561,114.53, or roughly 33.05% of your total tax dollars. This is the portion of that the City of Linden has control over when it comes to your municipal taxes. This is what we utilize in order to provide the services that the City of Linden provides. The library appropriation is, once again, a minimum number that the state dictates to the municipality. The minimum that we must budget on your tax bill is $1,808,521.57. The County of Union, which is run by the County Board of Chosen Freeholders, is who has control over the county portion of your tax bill, which is $28,965,618.34, or roughly 15.81% of the total taxes, as well as the open space, which is $830,471.49, or roughly 0.45%. The largest category is the school, which is the amount of the levy is $91,091,460, or roughly 49.71%. 10 years ago, this number was higher. It had been in the 50s. The school has tried to reduce that as much as possible. This year, the city was faced with having to raise deferred charges into 2017 budget because of emergencies that occurred in the 2016 budget. When the 2016 budget was adopted, we, the City of Linden, was not aware of certain insurance claims that were settled, and they were liability claims that totaled over $1,235,000. In addition to that, the workers' compensation claims were over $775,000. So the amount that we have to raise because of the emergencies we declared in 2016 were over $2 million in this year's budget, which is one of the significant increases as to why the municipal budget had to increase, was due to this amount of emergencies being appropriated. And I know this question's asked every year: how would this affect the municipal portion, affect your pocket? And basically, on a yearly basis, it's $84.32. On a monthly basis, it's $7.03, based on an average assessed home of $132,659. And in 2017, our tax point is at $270,688. The vast services of one of the major departments, other than our police and fire departments, that provide services to the residents of Linden, is our Department of Public Works. The Public Works Department does tree trimming, removal of city trees. They do sidewalk repairs and replacements. We have a sewer service that basically can come into a person's home, and they take care of your sewer problem. The maintaining of waterways, there's various brooks that DPW is responsible for cleaning out. We do garbage collection at $827,000. To dispose of garbage collection is our tipping costs. Our trash collection, we do 4 times a year, roughly $400,000 to dispose of trash. And we have street sweeping as well that the city offers. And the mayor and council have aggressively been looking to pursue additional new revenues to the city of Linden. This is just a small snapshot of 5 projects that they have on the horizon. There's many more that the mayor and council have been aggressively pursuing and should be coming to fruition within the next year. Blue Apron, I'm sure everyone has been familiar with the property that used to be known as General Motors, Duke. That brought 2,000 jobs to the city of Linden. That will also bring additional revenue to the city of Linden over a 5-year pilot payment. There's a St. George Avenue redevelopment that will be occurring. That's additional revenue through a pilot agreement that the city of Linden will be able to anticipate as a revenue in forthcoming budgets. We have a building that's been vacant for at least a decade behind the promenade. We're now looking to have Amon Labs be able to take over that vacated building. That's also going to bring an additional revenue to the city of Linden. We have what was known as the JTG scaffolding property, the SAMTD, or Linden Station Apartments, that we're hoping to be able to see construction start possibly fall of 2017. And the latest, what the Revenue Enhancement Committee and the mayor have been working on, have been ongoing negotiations with a company named Fiabilia, which is directly next to our landfill. And we've been aggressively working through negotiations. They're interested in purchasing city-owned property, and also possibility of having additional reoccurring revenue through a solar agreement and selling that energy back to them. So the mayor and council are consistently looking for additional revenues to try to offset any type of increases or in appropriations. The second component of our budget is what we ask every department head to put together, is known as our capital budget plan. We ask for a 6-year budget so that we can see what the major departments need in addressing their aging infrastructure, equipment, and our public safety departments, our police and fire. This year was a little over $1 million in the fire department. The SCBA, which are the packs that they have to wear in when they go into a fire, have a 15-year life expectancy. We had to, under mandate, replace those this year. That was nearly $1 million. We also are trying to upgrade our technology in the police department. We have a disaster recovery site that we've been working on in the city of Linden. The police department also needed patrol vehicles. SUVs are allowed to be capitalized. We were able to purchase 4 for the patrol unit for the police department, which is a 24/7 operation. Our major non-public safety department that we ask for when it comes to the capital budget is our engineering department. This is where the roads and streets and infrastructure are addressed. We have street resurfacing, curb and sidewalks, storm sewers, and this year we were fortunate enough to get a grant through a streetscape project of an additional $400,000. So the engineering department's total capital budget was over $4 million this year. The other non-public safety departments is our Department of Public Works, which on the agenda this evening will be one of the last purchases needed for the garbage trucks that the city's been trying to move over to. and as well as we were going to be purchasing a street sweeper this year for our Department of Public Works, which was in great need. And the Department of Public Property and Recreation, we've been fortunate enough that the County of Union has, over the last decade, chosen Linden to receive Kids Trust Park upgrades. We have over 37 parks in the city of Linden, and we're fortunate enough to be able to utilize this program, dollar for dollar, to upgrade our park program under Director McDonald. We're also going to be doing the Memorial Walkway, which is in need of repair. At this time, I would just like to thank you all for your time and attention during the budget presentation, and I would be glad to answer any questions that you may have. Thank you.
Does anybody have any questions? Nobody questions on the budget? You do? One question only? Want to come up, Ms. Wolf? Nah.
You listed Stumper as one of the things that was related to closures.
The stumper is a piece of equipment for the Public Works Department dealing with trees. Is Mr. McDonald here? Mr. Makucci, perhaps you could explain it a little bit better?
Mr. Roman, want to come up, please? Want to come up? Did you sign the wrong paper? You're supposed to be in the white sheets? I'll transfer your name. Anybody else? I guess everybody's happy. Good. You know, our CFO did a great job. Unfortunately, everything increases. Taxes increase. You know, anybody who tells you we are going to decrease your taxes, you know, you better buy land from them because it probably doesn't exist. But I want to thank Mrs. Sack and her whole staff because I think they did a very good job, ma'am. Yeah. All right, moving on. Ordinances on hearing, 6143 through 6145.
Mr. President, you need to,
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I need to read
Did I
an
jump?
amendment.
Yes. Clerk to read. Mr. Porter, can you please read the amendment to the 2017 budget?
whereas the local municipal budget for the year 2017 was approved on the 20th day of June 2017, whereas the public hearing on said budget has been held as advertised, and whereas it is desired to amend and approve now, therefore be resolved by the City Council of the City of Linden, County, that the following amendments to the 2017 budget be made. Anticipated revenue. Miscellaneous revenue, Section F, special items of general revenue anticipated and prior written consent of the Director of Local Government Services and private revenue offsets with appropriations. Clean Communities Program, from 0 to $70,422.25. Total Section F, special items of general revenue anticipated with prior written consent of the Director of Local Government Services, prior public and private revenues, from $528,361.71 to $598,783.96. Summary of revenues. Miscellaneous revenues, total Section F, special items of general revenue anticipated with prior written consent of Director of Local Government Services, public and private revenues, from $528,361.71 to $598,783.96. Total miscellaneous revenues, $431,857.23 to $35,502,279.48. 5, subtotal general revenue from items 1, 2, 3, and 4, $46,786,957.23 to $46,857,379.48. 6, amount to be raised by taxes for support of the municipal budget. A, local tax for municipal purposes, including revenues for uncollected taxes, from $60,561,114.53 to $60,672,114.53. Total amounts to be raised by taxes for support of municipal budget: $62,369,636.10 to $62,480,636.10. Total general revenues from $109,156,593.33 to $109,338,015.58. Deferred charges and statutory expenditures municipal within caps. Deferred deficit landfill utility from $363,100 to $339,100. Total deferred charges and statutory expenditures municipal within caps, $10,918,674.05 to $10,904,674.05. H1, total general appropriations for municipal purposes within cap, $86,231,746.05 to $86,217,746.05. A, operations excluded from caps, maintenance-free public library, from $1,808,521.57 to $1,933,521.57. Total other operations excluded from cap, $3,862,921.57 to $4,007,921.57. A, operations excluded from caps, public and private programs offset by revenues, clean communities, from $0 to $70,422.25. Total public and private programs offset by revenues, $611,281.71 to $681,703.96. Total operations excluded from caps, details from other expenses, from $4,608,219.28 to $803,641.53. Details other expenses, $3,545,803.28 to $3,741,225.53. H2, total general appropriations for municipal purposes excluded from cap, $18,867,719.28 to $19,063,141.53. D, total general appropriations excluded from caps, from $18,867,719.28 to $19,063,141.53. L, subtotal general appropriations, item H-1 and O, from $105,099,465.33 to $105,280,887.58. 9, total general appropriations, $109,156,593.33 to $109,338,015.58. H1, total general appropriations for municipal purposes from CAPS, statutory expenditures, $10,918,674.05 to $10,904,674.05. Other operations from $3,882,921.57 to $4,007,921.57. Public and private programs offset by revenues, $611,281.71 to $681,703.96. Total operations excluded from CAPS, $4,608,219.28 to $4,803,641,000.53. Total general appropriations from $109,156,593.33 to $109,338,015.58. Be it further resolved that 2 certified copies of this resolution be forthwith in the Office of the Director of Local Government Services for certification of the local municipal budget as amended. It is hereby certified that a true copy of a resolution amending the budget adopted by the governing body on the 18th day of July 2017.
Thank you, Mr. Bodek. Can we have a roll call, please, on the vote on the budget amendment? Need a motion?
Hey, Council President, I move for the approval of the budget as read. Request a second.
Second.
Mrs. Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Brooks?
Yes.
Crosby Hurling?
Yes.
Sadowski?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Yemakaitis?
Yes.
Medina?
Yes.
Hickey?
Yes.
Mr. Alvarez?
Yes. Councilman Strano,
Yes,
Can you
Council
please-
President.
can you please read the budget hearing statement?
Yes, I will. This is the budget hearing statement for, as the Chair of the Finance and Budget Review Committee for July 18th of 2017. The introduced budget represents a total of $109,156,593.33 in expenditures for the year of 2017. As previously noted, a yearly increase of $84.32 on the average assessed home of $132,659, or an increase for that house assessed at that amount for $7.03 a month. The City of Linden is focused on providing our residents with a variety of city services and quality of life improvements. The City Council worked very hard in the budget process to keep the municipal portion of your property taxes from suffering from drastic tax increases. I'd like to thank all the members of the governing body for their assistance and recommendations on the 2017 budget. And I would like to especially thank every department head for their dedication and diligence in preparing their 2017 municipal budgets. I move for approval of the amended budget and ask for a second.
Second.
Mrs. Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Brooks?
Yes.
Crosby Hurling?
Yes.
Sadowski?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Yemakaitis?
Yes.
Medina?
Yes.
Hickey?
Yes.
Mr. Alvarez?
Yes. Okay, now we'll go back ordinance and hearing. Mr. Bora, can you please read ordinance 61-43?
Bond ordinance providing an appropriation of $100,000 for citywide curb and sidewalk reconstruction for and by the City of Linden, and authorizing the issuance of $95,000 bonds or notes of the city for financing part of the appropriation.
Has the ordinance been properly published and posted?
Yes, sir.
Has any written communication been received?
No, sir.
Is there anyone that wishes to be heard on this ordinance? May I have a motion, please?
Yes, Council President, I move that the hearing for ordinance number 61-43 be closed, the ordinance adopted, and I request a second.
Second.
Mrs. Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Brown? Yes. Brooks?
Yes.
Cosby Hurling?
Yes.
Sadowski?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Yemakaitis?
Yes.
Medina?
Yes.
Hickey?
Yes.
Mr. Alvarez?
Yes. Mr. Porter, can you please read 61-44?
Bond ordinance authorizing the resurfacing of city-owned parking lots at the train station, appropriating $100,000 therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $95,000 in bonds or notes to finance part of the cost thereof.
Has the ordinance been properly published and posted?
Yes, sir.
Has any written communication been received?
No, sir.
Is there anyone that wishes to be heard on this ordinance? May I have a motion, please?
Yes, I move that the hearing for ordinance number 61-44 be closed, the ordinance adopted, and I request a second.
I second.
Mrs. Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Brooks?
Yes.
Cosby Hurling?
Yes.
Sadowski?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Yemakaitis?
Yes.
Medina?
Yes.
Hickey?
Yes.
Mr. Alvarez?
Yes. Mr. Porter, can you please read 61-45?
An ordinance to create a new chapter entitled City of Linden Municipal Port Authority by the Council of the City of Linden.
Has the ordinance been properly published and posted?
Yes, sir.
Has there been any written communications that have been received?
No, sir.
Is there anyone that wishes to be heard on this ordinance? Sir, can you please come up? Thank you. Give your name, your address, and,
My name is Craig Heller, and I live at 120 Donaldson Place. What do we need a municipal port authority for?
Mr. Antonelli.
Thank you, Council President. It's my understanding, sir, that the members of council and the mayor asked me to look into this issue. Under state law, those towns that perhaps touch upon water, like here in Linden, have the ability to create a port authority. The port authority that would be created here and envisioned would be for not what happens in Elizabeth and Newark with the big port authority there, but there is, my understanding from what we've been told, a market for products that come off the ship and then need to be transported, and smaller vessels could get to the waters here. So all this does now is create a Linden Municipal Authority, allows us to take this one step further in our process to evaluate the merits of this. It's my understanding there is a decent amount of land that touches upon water here, and frankly, could be an asset to the city as far as creation of jobs and industry and business.
I wish to thank you for your answer, but it still doesn't explain why we have to do it.
Basically, sir, it's opening the door for future commerce, things like a port, for example. At this time, we are not thinking of doing anything, but this is just the beginning of something that may come up in the future.
Okay,
If you will, Mr. President, if you
Yes,
don't mind.
Mayor?
What this essentially does, it will allow the business community in that area, Trimley Point area, to be able to bond, apply for grants to improve the infrastructure in that area. Now, it has no bearing on the city. We're not bonding, but it gives those establishments there the ability to bond to improve the infrastructure, which will, of course, improve the quality and the viability of that area. And as you know, we're trying very aggressively to develop that area, and we've had some difficulty developing it. We do have a gentleman in the audience, Frank Hedham is here this evening. He's very familiar with ports, and in fact, he's been very instrumental in providing us with direction. So, Mr. Hedham, if you would not mind to come forward and speak a little bit about ports and what we're trying to accomplish here.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir.
The Port Authority of New York, New Jersey has a 20-year plan, expansion plan. They've been working on it for some time. The Port of Linden, New Jersey would basically work parallel with their effort, with their growth. The Port Authority of Linden has quite a bit of waterfront, as was mentioned. It would allow the development of ships, warehousing, that would support the infrastructure in the ports in New York, New Jersey. There's been quite a bit of study done by Union County in the past, by the Port Authority in the past. This is just something else that's moving, letting Linden grow and be maybe one of the first in the country to develop short sea shipping that's been trying to be achieved in Washington through MARAD. There's quite a bit of interest throughout the country to develop this. The support that would come in to help push this along is incredible. There's outside money coming in from overseas that own ships, cranes, a lot of infrastructure. It's just something that may allow Linden to truly step forward and be a first-class warehouse, shipping, distribution, transportation, and allow Linden really to grow and help everybody in Linden. A win-win for everybody.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Malik?
So this is something that we're just thinking about, but who are the individuals or the individuals that would be overseeing this Port Authority? This would have to be a new position to be created, and that would be a city employee?
Not at the present time. Ms. Santinelli?
Thank you, Council President. Ms. Malik, the way the statute reads and the ordinance as well, it would be a 5-member board. The mayor would serve as a member of the board. The mayor also is able to make his own selection as a second member, and the remaining 3 members, the mayor makes a nomination with advice of consent of council. So it's a 5-member board.
All right, so besides the mayor, those other 4 individuals, they would be paid positions, or they would be coming from other positions?
Right. It's not a paid position. The ordinance doesn't say that. They serve
Well, I'm
without
just inquiring.
compensation.
Wait, can you just...
They serve without compensation.
Okay, fine, thank you.
The logical approach here would be to have owners of the particular properties to be members of that board, or some variation of such.
And they would have the oversight of the development of that land that was being spoken about?
Well, what they would do is address the need for infrastructure improvement and just overall the capacity of that whole area to be able to distribute goods and merchandise and warehousing, as well as utilizing the waterfront property to its fullest capacity.
Ms. Wolverine?
There we go. It sounds like a great idea, but I was wondering, is this Port Authority, are they also going to help with that extension road that we need to take traffic off of 8th Ward and 7th Ward and 6th Ward? That seemed to be in limbo. Could this authority help with that, to move that along?
I can't exactly say that it would help, but it certainly wouldn't hurt. Again, that's a whole different governing agency, but you would think that if that region were to take off and become more viable, it would certainly give the people at the state who are the Turnpike Authority probably greater incentive to move forward with such a project. I will say this. One of the big holdups with the development of Trimley Point is the need to build a bridge because there's a train that denies access to 2 key pieces of property there. In establishing a port authority, this port authority could perhaps bond amongst themselves and seek federal grants to have a bridge that would be built that would allow transportation not to be impeded by this train. Again, it's just, we don't sit around our room and come up with these ideas. We look at things that have happened in other areas, and we try to mimic what has been done elsewhere to try to improve the quality of life in our town.
Like I said, I think it's a good idea. I just hope it would move along, because I know Mrs. Yamakaitis has been working a while on that extension road, which is going to help 3 wards, so I hope that helps.
What I would encourage is for you to call your state senator, Scutari, and see if you can light a fire under him to see if you can get him to perhaps be a little more interested in something other than marijuana legislation.
You really want me to call him?
Well, why
Okay.
not? Give it a try. You might get through.
Thank you. Anybody else? Mr. Roman?
John Rome, 15 West Linden Avenue. Not in regards to the Port Authority, just to, on your comment, I do believe the Extender Road was in the state budget this year. After they raised their gas tax, weren't they going to put it through, or did they kill that?
They just approved some additional studies, and quite honestly, it seems like that's the only thing the state is capable of doing is conducting studies. I'll be very happy if I see somebody come in with a crane or even at least one shovel and stick something in the ground and get something done, other than give us a whole bunch of lip service.
I've read multiple times there are $100-something million put into it, and that's what we're getting, studies for it.
That's about the size of it.
All right, sir, thank you.
Councilman Brown?
Yeah, John, it's not a matter of what you read. I went directly to the source, and you're wrong. I spoke to a senator right over here last week, and there hasn't been any funding allocated for it. He's actually still working on it. Like the mayor said, there was money allocated for a study, but not for the full commitment of getting that done. I went strictly to the source, and so it has not been funded.
Okay, let's get back to business. May I have a motion for 6145, please?
Thank you, Council President. I make a motion that the hearing be closed on ordinance 6145 and it adopted as a new ordinance, and respectfully ask for a second, please.
Second.
Mrs. Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Brooks?
Yes.
Crosby Hurling? Sadowski?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Yamakaitis?
Yes.
Medina?
Yes.
Hickey?
Yes.
Mr. Alvarez?
Yes. The consent agenda. All items listed with asterisks are considered to be routine by the City Council and will be enacted with one motion. There will be no separate discussion on these items unless a council member or citizen so requests, in which event the item will be removed from the general order of business and considered in its normal sequence on the agenda, items 1 through 5. Does anybody want to remove any of them? May I have a motion, please, to accept the consent agenda?
Council President, I move for acceptance of items number 1 through number 5 in the consent agenda and request a second.
Second.
Mrs. Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Brooks?
Yes.
Crosby Hurling?
Yes.
Sadowski?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Yamakaitis?
Yes.
Medina?
Yes.
Hickey?
Yes.
Mr. Alvarez?
Yes. We're going to start with committee reports. We're going to start with Councilwoman Orman, please.
Thank you, Council President. I would just first of all like to start off with expressing my sincere and deepest condolences to our Council President and the loss of his mother. Our thoughts and prayers, Mr. Alvarez, are with you, and if you need anything, please feel free to reach out to me. But you have my family's condolences.
Thank you, Councilwoman.
I'd like to start by saying we held a public safety meeting on June 28th at the John T. Gregorio Center, and I want to personally thank Captain Turbot and the Linden Police Department for being our distinguished presenters. They came out and gave us some good tips on how to keep your property safe while you're home and while you're away. And one of the things that he did, he covered some important tips, which for the most part are basic common sense, but sometimes we don't follow them. But one key point that I want to bring out is that he used 100 as a benchmark in making reference to the cars that have been broken into in the city of Linden. And would you believe that over 95 of that 100 were actually left unlocked? It wasn't that somebody bashed a window or, jimmied a lock or whatever, or used some sort of apparatus to get into the car. People have actually left their cars unlocked. So one of the things that you can do to protect your vehicle, make sure it's locked, and please keep valuables out of sight and pretty much out of your car. The ones that were due to a broken window, there was something that was of the interest of the actual perpetrator. And I have actually walked in my community over the last couple of weeks, and people were telling me that, yes, they have just walked up into their driveway, lifted up their door handles, and their car was open. So the thieves are brazen for walking up on the property, but it's very, very easy just to go ahead and access a vehicle that's already open. So please be safe. It's the summer, and there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be walking through our neighborhoods because we walk when it's warm. Ainsworth Street is under construction and being repaved, so please be patient. The end results are going to definitely be worth it. I received a map of our ward from our engineering department. It shows me the streets and the last time that they were paved. So over the next couple of months, now that the weather's warm, I will be looking at those streets and giving our engineering department a priority, a list prioritizing based on when they were last paved and also the condition that they're in. Keeping in mind if there's a street that is in absolutely terrible shape, but it's not the longest or the oldest on the list, we will still address it. So it's going to be a combination of those factors determining what we're going to do. Tree planting is going to resume in the city of Linden and, mainly in the first ward. The deadline is July 28th at 4:00 p.m. if you would like to have a tree planted on the city property that's near your home. Now, keep in mind, city property is the property that is from the street, and as well as the property that is past the curb. So if you don't have a sidewalk or a curb, about 10 feet of your property, or what you believe is your property, is technically city property. So once again, that deadline is July 28th. If you have already submitted a request to me, I will make sure our commission receives that information again. If you have taken the time to send the commission an email on your own, please resend that email so you're included on that list. If you don't send an email, you may be forgotten, or you may have to wait till the next go-round. Keeping in the theme with our property and the heat of the summer, please curb your dogs. One thing I would like to just remind people is that private property is not the spot for you to allow your dog free rein. Okay? If you come up on somebody's front lawn and let your dog, go to the bathroom, you still have to clean it up, but the ultimate ideal would be not to let the dog go up on someone's front lawn. That is private property. We have plenty of city property that citizens do have to maintain, but my front lawn is my front lawn, not necessarily for anyone's pet. So please be mindful to lean your dog to going onto the city property. Pull the leash, direct them somewhere else. We also will be addressing excessive speeding in the first ward. I've received many emails from concerned residents that there is a lot of speeding that's going on. It's not just the first ward, but it's across the whole entire city. People just use the streets that don't have enough stop signs as the Indy 500. So we will be discussing some of those streets in our next traffic committee meeting, and hopefully we can get some of those electronic devices up where people can be warned as to how fast they're going, and hopefully that'll encourage them to slow down. I'm also going to be addressing some of the parking concerns that we have, not only with the Summit Street area, but Yerudo, Keep Street, or Kama. We seem to have some parking issues there. Those also will be addressed at our next committee meeting. Summer hours are in effect for DPW. Please get your sanitation as well as your recyclables out by 6 a.m. The guys are coming earlier. So if I receive a phone call that they've missed just one house, you just have to make sure that your recycle bins as well as your canisters are out early enough. I also want to apologize to Academy Terrace. We did have a new driver on the route, and we did miss your whole entire block. Our humblest apologies. We don't typically do that. But once again, it was a new driver. And I do believe our DPW department did go back out the following day to address the issue. So I do want to thank our supervisor, Frank McCucci, for sending our crew right back out. In the event that your trash or your recycles are missed, please contact me right away. If you contact me after 4 o'clock, there's nothing I can do that day. I have to wait till the following day. So if you contact me immediately, while the trucks are still in service, there's a greater possibility that we can get that truck to come out to take care of the problem. You can text message me or call me at 908-370-6482, or you can send me an email, lormon@linden-nj.org. But definitely send me the message so I can address it. And if you do call, please leave a voice message, because if you don't, and I get your voice message or get your voicemail, I have no idea what it is that you need. So please, if you need my assistance or you need some help, please leave a detailed message for me. Last but not least, I would like to personally thank the Board of Health for addressing the furrow cat issue in my ward. There is an ordinance that says that you are not allowed to feed stray animals. We are going to diligently address this. It's horrible when you walk up to someone's walkway and you're met with a dish of spoiled milk, flies, and it's really not good for the neighbors. They're unhappy when the cats that you're feeding end up in their backyard and their property. So we're going to be addressing it. We have already issued a fine to a major business that is feeding the cats. The fines start at $100 and can go as high as $1,200. And we don't necessarily have to have increments of 2, 3, 4. We can go right from 100 to 1,200, that quick. And if you continue, we have the right to continuously fine you the $1,200. So just please be mindful that you are not allowed to feed them, and we do have an ordinance that prohibits it. I just want to continue to wish everybody a wonderful summer. Just enjoy, and please be safe. And remember, our children are out in full swing also. Please be mindful of the children that are out there playing. Thank you. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilman Javik.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. First, I would like to thank the police and fire department for the quick response with a tree that fell on DeWitt Street the other night. It kept our DPW working late into the night, and they did a great job removing the tree. It was a lucky situation. No cars got hit and no electrical wires came down, and thank God no one was hurt. There seems to be an increase in dogs also getting out in the second ward. Please, dogs are in your yards now. Make sure your fence or containment is secure. Also, please, when walking your dog, please pick, as Mrs. Orman said here, please clean up after it. It's a nice gesture for everyone, and I'm sure you don't want it. You don't want that fine. I think it starts at $125, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, for the dogs. Also focusing on cleanliness. If you see things around your house, papers, bottles, cans, things that come from our recycled cans or other trucks, or our trucks, we would all appreciate everyone keeping the city clean and help us keeping your primary areas free of debris. Anyone wanting a tree in the second ward, please contact me this week so I can put your property on our list. Again, as Ms. Orman said, July 28th is the cutoff date, so we need to finalize our list. They're going to be putting trees on properties anyway if we don't give them, so I'm hoping that you want one so we can put it out there. Anyone in the second ward interested in joining a committee that I'm putting together for the community garden, please contact me at 908-494-4608. In addition, call me for any traffic situations, street lights, etc. And in the second ward also, we should be receiving our new garbage cans by the end of August. End of my report.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Brown.
Thank you. Some reports from the third ward real quick. First, I want to say sorry for your loss to the council president for his mother, and Councilwoman Armand for her mother-in-law. My thoughts go out to you guys as well. I just want to let you guys know I'm sorry about that. On to the third ward. Like Councilwoman Ormond mentioned, speeding is an issue. It's not just pertaining to one ward. The third ward also has speeding issues. One of them on Clark and Walnut Street is a street that both myself and Councilwoman Ormond do share, and that is something that will be addressed, that I have requested the police department to do a traffic study on there to see what we can do. So we will be working together to address both Clark and Walnut Street. I know there's an issue for street light on Maple. Councilman Cosme is going to read that street light again. For some reason, it still has not been installed, so we're going to go through the motions of getting that done. Also, on pertaining to Maple, the length of Maple from Clark Street all the way down to East Price Street will be paved this year, as well as Middlesex. That is a street that is in some dire need of repair. And in regards to clumsiness, as you stated, I want to thank the residents who do call me in regards to our parks that sometimes needs the garbage dumped or things of that nature. I just ask that you continue to call me, let me know what's going on, and we will do our best to address that. In regards to city business, the municipal budget is something that every year we deal with, something that I take a great deal of effort in working on. And so we need to do things a little bit differently. I know that residents are looking for tax relief, and there are going to be some changes that we need to make. One of which I guess could be best described by a story regarding my son, where a couple years ago, he goes to school, he went to school when he came home, and one of his things was he wanted playground equipment. And he's telling me, I said, Alex, why are you telling me? He says, well, Dad, because you're the council person, even though it's a school function. And that story I'm relating to the public is about what Linden needs to do. When residents get their tax bill, it says Linden, City of Linden. It doesn't matter whether you're Board of Education, the Sewage Authority, the municipality, the library. It's one tax bill. And it's a matter of how do we work closer together to reduce taxes, or at least, to address the tax issues. So last week, myself, the mayor, the treasurer, representatives from the library, representatives from the Board of Education, as well as the Sewage Authority came together, and some people didn't even know who each other were. And the first line that we need to do is at least have some dialogue amongst each other, because we all represent one Linden, yet there's no communication on what we can do to lift this burden on the taxpayers, and see how we can work close together for next year's budget, 2018 budget, and budgets after, and also improve the quality of life of residents, improve services. This is something that really has not been done in the past, that at least last week took the first step in at least creating some type of dialogue. In regards to taxes, one of the hot topic issues is the garbage surcharge that we did not talk about tonight, and I lend some of my time over to the mayor to briefly talk about that.
Thank you. I know this is not time for my report, but I do thank you for allowing me to inject, Mr. Brown. In 2013, the governing body here in Linden implemented what I think, to me, was one of the most unfair taxes that this city has really ever encountered, and that was a garbage fee. We did so because there was a 2% cap that was implemented by Governor Christie, and somehow we just couldn't seem to balance our budget and stand at that 2% cap. So what we did was implemented a garbage fee. Now, in essence, all we did was circumvented his law by giving you an increase over 2% with a garbage fee. Whether I'm in the supermarket or whether I'm on Wood Avenue, it seems to me that every resident in this town who pays property taxes is concerned about this garbage fee. All of us, every last one of us, have run and promised that we would remove such a tax. But I think that we have, up until this point, let the residents of our city down. Tonight, I'm going to direct this council to introduce an ordinance to eliminate the garbage fee. It is something that I was committed to, and it is something that I promised the residents of this town that it could be done. Now, what it means, essentially, is that if we eliminate this tax, it means that the finance department in this town, as well as the governing body in this town, are going to basically have to sharpen their pencils, because the removal of this tax is going to mean the elimination of $1.6 million that we receive in revenue. So, that being said, I believe that this governing body, I believe that our finance department is capable of sharpening their pencils and doing what is necessary to eliminate this tax. So, going forward, I'm going to ask Councilman Brown, our finance person, to introduce an ordinance to eliminate this, what I consider most unfair taxes to our residents in this town. Thank you, Mr. Brown.
So with that being said, I make a motion to add ordinance 61-50, which is an ordinance repealing ordinance 57-25, entitled Garbage Collection Annual Surcharge. And ask for the clerk to read it.
An ordinance repealing ordinance 5725 entitled Garbage Collection Annual Surcharge, be it ordained by the Council of the City of Linden, Section 1, Ordinance 5725, adopted on June 18, 2013, is hereby repealed in its entirety, effective January 1, 2018. Section 2, that any ordinance provisions inconsistent with this ordinance are hereby repealed. Section 3, this ordinance shall become effective after adoption and publication according to the law.
I make a motion, ask for a second.
Second.
Mrs. Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Brooks?
Yes.
Crosby Hurling?
Before I vote for this, I want to just make a comment that we didn't talk about this last night, and I totally did not agree with the garbage tax when it was introduced in 2013. Sorry? I voted no for this, and it's funny that we're voting to get rid of it. All I'm going to say is we're getting rid of it. I'm going to vote to support that, but when I make my recommendations for next year's budget to get rid of some of the positions and some of the perks, that everybody needs to remember that there's $1 million going to be missing. So, no pushback should come. Everybody's getting these raises, and we're supposed to be negotiating our contracts, okay? So just be mindful that when I'm recommending shared services, and even if I'm giving up $100,000 or asking for $100,000, it's more than nothing. So I'm going to vote yes to get rid of it because I didn't think it was a good idea to begin with.
Council President, if I may.
Yes, sir.
Mrs. Crosby Hurling, you did hear me say that we're going to have to sharpen our pencils.
Mayor, I'm all with you, but again.
And I do have the confidence in this governing body and our finance department.
I agree.
To do what is necessary to make sure that we have a balanced budget next year without this unjust tax. Thank you for your comments.
My pleasure.
Sadowski?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Yemakaitis?
I, too, did not support this garbage tax when it was brought up. And on behalf of the residents, I am voting yes.
Medina?
I as well did not support this garbage tax back in 2013. And for my constituents, absolutely, I vote yes. Thank you.
Hickey?
I wasn't here when it was first introduced, but I have to tell you, I absolutely am voting yes for this. I just wish we all had a little teamwork and council work together instead of all these surprises all the time. And again, next year's an election year, so we'll sharpen up our pencils. I'm not included in the committee, so I don't have to sharpen any, so we'll see.
Mr. President, once again, I do apologize for interrupting, but it seems, and I'll tell you why we did this the way we did it, because it seems like every time I say potato, you say potato. I say tomato, you say tomato. So I suspected that if I had brought this in front of the entire council, there'd have been a whole lot of conversation about why we shouldn't do it, and I just decided to go ahead, let's just do it and get it over with. Thank you.
I think I'm still on my report.
Mr. Alvarez?
Yes, sir.
Council President, if I may, just so the record is clear, this was a motion to add this ordinance to the agenda. It will be read on ordinances for first reading, at which time members of council will vote to actually repeal it. So this was just a motion to add this
To the agenda.
ordinance
Right.
to a first reading.
So as of right now, everybody has to still pay the tax.
for a moment.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Antonelli, for your happy thoughts.
And I want to clarify, this ordinance, correct me if I'm wrong, the city,
Continue,
yeah,
please,
thank
Mr.
you,
Brown.
is that this would take effect for the 2018 municipal budget. This is why the mayor is making reference that we need to sharpen our pencil and home in and focus on next year's budget. So this will take effect, if this is passed, by January 18. Other than that, end of report.
Thank you, Councilman, and thank you for the surprise. Councilman Brooks?
Thank you, Council President. Good evening, everyone. I also would like to express my condolences, my and my family's condolences to both Councilwoman Ormond and to Council President Alvarez for their losses. I have before me a report from our City Clerk's office. The City Clerk's Licensing Division is submitting this monthly report for the month of June 2017. This office issued 85 dog licenses and 73 miscellaneous licenses and collected $6,464. Also from the City Clerk's office, the following licenses, permits, transcripts issued in the City Clerk's office during the month of June 2017, and fees received have been turned over to the Municipal Treasurer for the City of Linden. 105 birth, death, and marriage certificates, $1,575. 28 marriage civil union licenses, $84, $700 to state revenue. No domestic partnerships, 5 miscellaneous. Revenue, $8.25, 0 from bingo, 236 EDRS vital statistics, $3,540. Thank God. Burial permits, interest earned, 51 cents, for a total of $5,207.76, of which 700 state revenue, grand total $5,907.76. From our Department of Public Works, I hereby submit the monthly financial report for the Division of Transportation and Parking for the month of June 2017. This report includes a collection of on- and off-street parking meters, railroad parking lots, railroad parking permits, and merchant permit parkings. New York side collections, $3,868. Trenton side collections, $4,213. Credit card transactions, $27,540.56. Parking meter collections, $17,679.50. Railroad permits, $37,590. Merchant permits, $65. Grand total, $90,956.06. For the Fourth Ward, please keep in mind that we're continuing to have work done in the Fourth Ward. So there are still renovations that's going to go on. That's the area, that's the kids section. That's just, if you're looking at the park from the McAllen Street side, the kids section is at the back side on the Bower Street end, and also on the area where our adults work, the workout station, that's also due for renovations. That has not been forgotten. So that work will continue. The money's already there. That work will continue. Also, I'd like to thank the police chief and our fire chief. I work for the Board of Education, as you know, and we had a small presentation at the alternative school at the end of the school year. Both the fire chief and the police chief came and spoke. It was very nice for them to show up, and our kids were very impressed, as was the staff. So again, thank you very much to the police chief and to the fire chief for attending. Also, Council President, I've also seen, as already mentioned, I've also seen, and I'm beginning to see more of, those little cars and trucks that come around and knocking on your door to fix your driveways. It will not get fixed, trust me. It will tear up in the next 2 days, and you will never be able to find the person that you gave your money to. So I would strongly suggest that if someone is knocking on your door talking about doing repairs to your driveways, close your door, don't open it. Councilman Medina down there insists that you don't open your door at all. For me, if you do open your door, please make sure that the answer is positively no, and keep your money in your pocket. Give a call to a reputable contractor and get the work done that way. That concludes my report, Council President.
Thank you, Councilman Brooks. Councilwoman Cosby Harling.
Yes. So, I'll do my report. I'm going to try and make it as quick as possible because, you know, I'm going to try anyway. From the Construction Code Committee, I do want to just give the report for June. The Construction Code Office issued 217 permits and 106 certificates. The Construction Code Office generated or collected $105,687 for the month of June. and the detailed report is on file in the clerk's office. I'm going to request that a light be installed at pole number 63670LD, per Councilman Brown, and we will be sure to follow up on the installation this go-around. So if we can get that light installed, I'm going to put that out and request a second.
Second.
Thank you.
Mrs. Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Brooks?
Yes.
Crosby Hurling?
Yes.
Sadowski?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Yemakaitis?
Yes.
Medina?
Yes.
Hickey?
Yes.
Mr. Alvarez?
Yes.
I don't have any report from the Board of Health. They're pretty quiet right now for the summer months. And from the Roselle Linden Sewage Authority, I received a copy of their financial audit from December 2016 and 2015, but I'm sure that the councilman, who's actually a member of the authority, is going to give a report like he does every month, so I'll defer to Councilman Sadowski for that. In the Fifth Ward, I just wanted to just say again that we won't have Dill Avenue paved for the reasons that the water company is scheduled to do paving, and the engineering department said they're not going to pave Dill just to have it tore up and get redone again. So we have to wait until next year to get Dill Avenue paved. I know there's some issues there with some potholes, and DPW promised that they were going to take care of those. I requested an alternate street be done, but they don't do alternate streets. I tried to at least spend our money this year, but we have to still wait until next year. Mildred Avenue, however, is still on to be paved. Also in the Fifth Ward, I mentioned last year that we're supposed to have some bridge work done at the Husser Street Bridge from the county, which is the county's bridge. They're not taking bids until September for that, so we still have to wait. Basically, the bridge is going to be repaired. When you go to Husser Street, it's not really going to help too much with the flooding because it floods there until we get our flood situation rectified, but it's going to help improve the condition of the bridge on Husser Street. So we have two bridges, Husser and Bergen Street. Also, we had some requests for trimming of trees, and I'm told and reminded that the tree crew is short, but I was also made aware that hopefully after the hiring tonight of the laborers, that the tree crew will be restaffed and the list will start to be worked on again. And namely, the most hazardous will be done first, as we know is the practice of the city. But I'm hopeful that we'll get ours done before the season is over and address those extremely full trees in the Fifth Ward. We're looking for we still have room for children in our Hooked on Fishing, Not on Drugs program. Teenagers who want to volunteer and get community service, possibly college students. I'm just looking at one right here who might want to help the kids. Because we're setting the kids up now to go to a tournament that's going to be in September at Island Beach State Park. So anybody who's interested and wants to come, or if there's a child who you know might be interested in fishing, they can contact me, 908-718-7933, or they can send an email to rcosbyhurling@linden-nj.org. Save the following date for August. August 27th is the Fifth Ward Community Cookout. We're going to be doing it Fifth Ward only again this year. The location is going to be the Fifth Ward Park, so it's Sunday, August the 27th from 12 to 3 at Fifth Ward Park, which is located on Dill Avenue it's located on Dill Avenue and Caroline Avenue at Adams Street. So if anybody's wanting to come out to that, help volunteer, again, community service hours are also available. I wanted to say happy summer. I'm not going to be here next month at the meeting, but I want to thank everybody who did reach out to me with their concern about my absence last month at the meeting. So I'm fine, but thank you for your concern. And before I close, this is July, so I have two special young men who have birthdays, my babies, Bilal and Derek. Happy birthday to my boys, and that concludes my report.
Thank you, Councilwoman.
My pleasure.
Councilman Sadowski?
Thank you. Just a short few words. First, let me just read what the Fire Committee report. From the Fire Prevention Bureau, the Fire Prevention Bureau collected fees for permits, fines, and inspections totaling $5,598.39 for the month of June. The ambulance reimbursement system for the Linden Fire Department deposited $58,577.59 for June 2017, bringing the total deposits for 2017 at $411,594.26. If you have any kind of problems or anything, please give the fire department a call. They will be there for you. The sewage authority at the present time, it's all quiet. They are advertising for 2 head people to run it. The gentleman is leaving, so there's, I guess, sent out, they're looking for 2 people starting, I guess, in September to be the new heads of the sewage department. So that's going on. Just starting last week, I'm walking the water, riding the bicycle around there. What we're looking for is if anyone has trees with branches low, curbs that are broken, or sidewalks that are broken by city trees. I'm writing them down. I hope I could get to all, but if you have any of these, please give me a call at my phone. It's 908-862-0749. I'll be home, or my wife will be home. If not, please leave a message. Or you can email me at City Hall, and the email is lowercase RTATTOLI at LindenNewJersey.org. Either one of those, I will get to it. If you know, my computer skills aren't the best, so I have someone really doing that. In the 6th Ward, the DPW has promised us the new garbage cans by the end of August, and I'm sure we will be getting them. So that will be coming up. And to my friends at Emma Place, the 3 houses that have to come down will be coming down. It has been pumped out. They will be cutting the grass and so on and so forth, the city, yeah. But that is coming up, so Emma Street people, it'll be done. With the summer coming, wish everyone a happy summer. Please be careful of the children. And I know on my block, we had people trying to scam us for the driveways and let me check your inside, the plumbing and so on. Please be careful of that. If anything, please report it to the police. They will be down there right away. I guess nothing else till next month. So please have a great month of July. I'll see you in August. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Strano.
Yes, Council President, I would like to express my sincere condolences to you and your family on the loss of your mom, and also to First Ward Councilwoman Lisa Orman and her family on the loss of her mother-in-law. I have in my possession the Budget Review and Finance Report for July 18th, 2017, and approval is requested for the following finance actions. We have the payment of bills totaling $1,654,907.99 in bills, and they have been signed by the mayor, the council president, and the finance chairman, and a detailed check register and vouchers are on file in the clerk's office. We are in receipt of investments made by the city treasurer for the month of July at the rate of 0.50%. I move for approval and ask for a second.
Second.
Mrs. Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Brooks?
Yes.
Cosby Hurling?
Yes.
Sadowski?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Yemakaitis?
Yes.
Medina?
Yes.
Hickey?
Yes.
Mr. Alvarez?
Yes.
Okay, this one's always a pretty popular request. We got notification from our shade tree commissioner, Jeff Tandle, that the tree requests have to be in by, I think, the end of the month. And if there's anyone out there in listening to this report, if you request a tree to be planted by the city, please contact me. My home phone number is 908-862-5097. And let me know what the location is. Leave your phone number and address, and I will return your call and put it on the list. Lastly, real quick, I was just informed tonight by our city engineer that we finally, this is in regards to our quiet zone designation for the at-grade crossing of the Conrail crossing on Lower Road, that we finally have an address to send the final approvals to for signatures, which will be the final step in this piece of putting this puzzle together. And hopefully they'll return that and expedite that in a timely fashion so we can get to work on that project and get this thing done. The trains are starting to act up again, and it'd be nice for the people in the Tremblay Point area to get a good night's rest. That concludes my report, Council President. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilwoman Yamikaitis.
Thank you, Council President. Good evening, everyone. I'd like to start off first by offering my condolences to Council President Alvarez and Councilwoman Orman on their losses. I'll start off with our Personnel Committee report. Does anyone have any questions on the report? Okay, seeing none. Number 1, from the Personnel Division. Number A, the FMLA NJFLA request, employee ID number 091144, FMLA from 4/10/17 to 7/10/17. Number 2, employee ID number 000789, FMLA from 6/21/17 to 8/2/17. Number 3, employee ID number 000536, FMLA from 6/12/17 to 8/18/17. Number 4, employee ID number 909399, FMLA from 5/12/17 to 8/12/17. Number 5, employee ID number 107427, FMLA from 7/11/17 to 7/20/17. Number 2, in the Police Department, the permanent appointment of Jonathan Parham to Police Chief effective July 6, 2017. Number 3, in the Department of Public Property, the hiring of Gregory Blaine as a full-time laborer Tier 2 effective July 24, 2017 at the starting hourly rate of $15 per hour, pending the successful completion of all pre-employment requirements of the City of Linden. Number 4, in the Department of Public Works, the hiring of 4 full-time laborers Tier 2 effective July 24, 2017 at the starting hourly rate of $15 per hour, pending the successful completion of all pre-employment requirements of the City of Linden. Hiring of Hafiz Brown, Khalil Gaines, Anthony Sestito, Adam Abu Hamid to fill existing vacancies due to retirements. Number 5, in the Construction Code Department, the hiring of Dennis Carbone as a part-time plumbing inspector at the hourly rate of $39.37, not to exceed 20 hours per week, effective July 24, 2017. Number 6, accepting a separation and employment for police recruit Delio Cantinho Jr., effective July 16, 2017. Number 7, in the Department of Public Property, amending the starting date for Paul D'Angelo to July 3, 2017. Number 8, approval for the Clean Communities Program and Summer Health Program for the City of Linden. Lists will be on file in the Treasurer's office. I move for approval and request a second.
Second.
Mrs. Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Brown?
I'm going to say yes to all, and I just want to make a short comment. I just want to congratulate our new police chief, Chief Parham. He's one of the finest chiefs I think we have in the state, and I really appreciate the work he's done with the police department, and our police department has been turning around, and we have some great officers that are underneath his leadership, and he's been doing a great job. So I just want to say thank you for the work you've done, and congratulations. So yes to all.
Brooks?
Thank you. Yes to all with just one comment. Congratulations to two of my former players. Great to see you guys out there. Yes to all.
Crosby Hurling?
Yes, but I just wanted to remind the laborers that as far as today goes, with the contracts, don't forget, you got to get a CDL license when you get hired. So just remember, that's a condition of your employment. And for our chief, congratulations. We knew you were going to pass that test and be number one. Looking forward to working with you. Continue to work with you and keep up the good work. Yes to all.
Sadowski?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes, and I'd also like to congratulate Chief Parham.
Yemakaitis?
Yes.
Medina?
Just want to congratulate our chief on becoming permanent. Thank you, chief, for everything that you're doing, and congratulate everyone that obtained full-time employment with the city of Linden. Congrats on that. Yes to all.
Hickey?
Yes, same thing. I'd like to congratulate our chief, who's doing an amazing job, and also look forward to working with all our new DPW workers, and I'm glad that you're starting here in Linden. And I say yes to all.
Mr. Alvarez?
Yes, and congratulations, Chief.
Okay. Chief, at this time, would you please stand? We'd like to all congratulate you. I would also like to ask our new hires that are here this evening, Havif Brown, Anthony Sestito, and Gregory Blaine, to please stand. Congratulations. On behalf of the mayor and council, we want to wish you best in all your endeavors with the city of Linden. Okay. For the 8th Ward report. Last month, Mayor Armstead and I attended a special meeting called by the Port Authority for all the stakeholders with regard to the new Goethals Bridge and the Missing Link project. The stakeholders included representatives from the County of Union, Elizabeth, the New Jersey DOT, and engineers. If you're not familiar with the Missing Link project, it has been in discussion since the proposed new Goethals Bridge back in 2007. But it took a back burner until November of 2013 when the bridge started to get underway. Over the past several years, we had numerous meetings with the community and where they were invited to look at different drawings of proposed solutions to fit the Missing Link project in. The Port Authority listened to some of the concerns, especially from the 8th Ward residents. There were rumors that they were going to take homes, they were going to take a church down in Elizabeth. None of that's coming to fruition. If you're not familiar with the Missing Link project, what it is to connect Route 1 and 278 to Route 1 and 9 northbound, as well as it would take significant traffic off of South Park Avenue. What the mayor and I learned at this meeting was not only that the Port Authority and engineers have narrowed down the design proposal, but now they basically are turning it over to the state DOT to go over approvals. We were told at this meeting that they will be holding a meeting with the community of Elizabeth and Linden, basically sometime at the end of August or September. So I will let you know when we are having our meeting. So I urge everyone, especially 8th Ward residents around Park Avenue, to please come out and see what the proposal is. What I can tell you, and I'm happy to report, no homes will be affected at all. So, on tonight's agenda, we have a resolution for the purchase of solid waste containers. The entire city will finally have the new cans, which is great news for 7th and 8th Ward, I know part of us, we don't have all the cans. 2nd Ward, 6th Ward, so the whole city will be online with the new cans. So we were told by Mr. Makucci sometime probably beginning of September, we'll be getting the new cans, so please watch for your cans, and any information that's disseminated with it, please read it carefully. I see Reverend Pam is here tonight. The Mayor's Youth Commission is asking you to please save the date for the annual backpack to school backpack supply. This was something that was started by various organizations spearheaded by the Mayor's Youth Commission last year to get everybody online. Numerous people were having backpack giveaways, and what we were finding is you had high school students, getting really like inappropriate backpacks that were meant for school-age children. So everybody coordinated their efforts, and I want to thank Reverend Pam, she's here tonight, and many of the other departments that are working with this to make this a successful event. So August 21st at the Raymond Wood Bower Promenade, please save that date. That's the date for the backpack to school, and I believe Reverend Pam will come up with more information later on this. Okay, as many of my colleagues on council had mentioned, we have to get lists for tree planting, so if anybody in the 8th Ward that would like to have a tree planted, I know I have several requests, so please give me a call. My number is 908-925-2309, and as Mr. Makucci and I had spoke, we will be addressing some of the trees that need to be addressed in the 8th Ward very shortly, so please be patient. And lastly, before I finish, we had an accident, a very bad accident on a corner of Chandler and Dill Avenue approximately 2 weeks ago. The mayor and I both went to the accident scene when we were called. A mother with 5 children in an SUV was flipped over. I want to thank Chief Parham and Lieutenant Mack. As many of you have heard from this council, we have been put in for traffic studies and things like that over the past several years. I had put in for this intersection to be considered for a 4-way stop 2 years ago, but it was denied. After this recent accident, I learned from the mayor that years ago an individual died at this intersection at an accident that I wasn't even aware of. He was a little kid then. But I want to thank Chief Parham and Lieutenant Mack, because it's going back on the table to be reconsidered, so hopefully we will see something occur there with a 4-way stop. Okay, that concludes my report, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilman Medina?
Yes, Council President. Good evening, everyone. I just have a short report, and for the 9th Ward, no library report this month, but again, I encourage everyone just to, sorry, you're looking at me, but no report, I just texted her. But I encourage everyone just to visit the library, check out the circulation desk. They have a calendar of events, fundraisers are coming up. They have a lot of things going on in our library. So just visit the library and you can get all that information there. Just finally received yesterday afternoon some good news from General Electric, the vendor that was chosen by Cranford that is actually handling the project of updating the lights on Raritan Road, DeWitt, and Moan. So they're actually, the parts came in, and they will try to tackle that project and complete it this week by Thursday or Friday. If not, the latest will be Monday, Tuesday of the following week. So it's a huge upgrade. Again, a lot of people run those lights because of the old style louvers that are filled with bird's nests, and it's always a big safety concern there. So finally, took only 1 year, but it's finally coming to fruition. Again, short report for 9th Ward, getting a lot of calls on safety concerns, speeders and whatnot. I did reach out to the chief. His team has been amazing, sending the guys out there enforcing. Again, we can't get them every day, but they do go out there. I've seen an increase in patrol, and so have the residents, so they're super excited about that some of the concerns are being heard and addressed. Unfortunately, when it comes to traffic issues, there's no real cure for these issues, but what we could do is try to enforce our laws and pull over as many vehicles as we can. As I want to just echo Councilwoman Yamakaitis with the 4-way stop sign. When I started the conversation with 4-way stop signs on DeWitt and Orchard, I believe it took 2 years, but there's a lot of studying, a lot of data that needs to be collected just to warrant these four-way stop signs. It's a shame because sometimes you have to wait for like a serious accident like this to occur to have enough backup data, which I find to be ridiculous. There are city streets. We should be able to do whatever we want with our city street when it comes to pedestrian and traffic improvement, when it comes to safety. So it is frustrating, and I can understand where my colleague is coming from here, because it took me 2 years to improve the traffic flow, well, just improve safety in the Ninth Ward community. So any support you need from me, you know, definitely have it. You heard from other comments, tree planting. If you want a tree, call me, email me, text me. It is the most exciting part of the year for all of us here in the council. But I could be reached at 908-986-6100. You can text me or you can email me at amedina@linden-nj.org. I'm here to help answer any questions, address any concerns, and just enjoy your summer. Be safe. That concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilwoman Hickey?
Good evening, everyone. Well, by the time it's my turn, everyone has said everything that has been going on. As many of my residents know, in the 10th Ward, the gas company's been working. If anybody knocks on your door, if it's the SCOTA, I just don't want you to be afraid to answer it. They are going to be knocking to talk to you about issues that are going to be done during the work period. In August, we're supposed to be going into the second phase of work. So, you know, they've been pretty wonderful so far. Any problems or issues they have addressed them immediately. So I've been very, very happy about that. The Kiwanis Club is having a pancake breakfast on September 16th at the JTG Center. It's $8 per person. We also have September to Remember coming up on Saturday, September 23rd, and the rain date is Sunday, the 24th. I know they're still looking for vendors, and the more the merrier. It's also a car show, a motorcycle show. My condolences to the Alvarez and the Orman families. I'm truly sorry for your losses. Also, if anybody would like trees planted, you can call me at 908-347-4548. I know there's been some discussion tonight about curbing your dog. I'm actually very proud of some of my residents. They actually posted a whole video on Facebook of a dog going on their lawn. And it kind of went a little viral, and the residents were actually all for it. I still don't know who the person is, though, so I'm very surprised by that. And just on another note, and it probably shouldn't be discussed in a sense, and maybe wait until last month, as my partner kind of told me I should wait, but I think taking away the garbage tax is wonderful. For the past couple weeks, I have been getting phone calls from so many residents because they just can't afford to live here anymore. Senior citizens need to move out. But I'm going to be honest, I'm concerned. I have a feeling this decision was made without consulting with professionals, with our CFO. $1.6 million is a lot of money, and as we are all gloating that we don't have to pay it anymore, because I know my husband will be very happy too, I always try to look on the other side of things. My concern is our employees. My concern is our police, our firemen. It's a drastic amount of money to take away so quickly, especially when our professionals, I don't believe, were consulted with. I certainly could be wrong. But, you know, when you're talking about $1.6 million in a budget, it should be something to be discussed in front of council instead of, you know, just earning people's love through something that may hurt us more than it benefits us down the road. You know, I feel we could have did it, you know, a little bit at a time and figured it all out. So, but I'm happy. My husband and I are saving $120 a year. So, and I know the residents are happy, but there's still more to think about instead of just saying we're taking $1.6 million away. Our police, our fire, first responders, our public workers that we all just hired, you know, it's unfortunate, but it's fortunate. So I hope everybody has a good rest of their summer. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Mayor?
Good evening, everybody. I'm just a little confused. Are you for the tax or against the tax?
Well, it's a fee, and I am against the fee, and I always have been, Mayor. I'm just concerned about the future of the city pulling so much money away so quickly.
Well, I don't think that the city is going to stop running. Like I said earlier, I think we just need to sharpen our pencils and do our due diligence. Again, when this tax was imposed, it was a tax that was essentially used to circumvent the 2% cap that was imposed by the state. So I think it's a good thing. You know, people like yourself and your husband who are gainfully employed, I know you have a nice job with the county, even myself, you know, I can afford to pay the tax. But you know what? There's a lot of seniors, a lot of people living on fixed incomes who can't afford it. And it's high time that this governing body, like I said, sharpen their pencils along with our finance department and figure out a way to move this city along without taxing. But before I go any further, you know, I'm going to defer some comments to my third ward council person as part of my report, because I refer to him as the guy who could find a nickel buried in your living room sofa. Councilman Brown, you care to comment?
In regards to whether we can afford this, the question is yes. You just saw in here we introduced a budget of $109 million. 1.6 is less than 1% of our total budget that we have here. It's not a matter of can we have to. I ran the numbers since 2006. The tax rate in Linden for residents have increased by 104% to date. Residents needs tax relief, and it's time for us to get the job done. It's enough talk. We need to get it done. And this is just one way of giving tax relief to the residents. This is 1% of our total $109 million budget that has been increasing. So it's not a matter of can we have to. Residents need relief. That's all I'm going to say.
Thank you, Mr. Brown, for your comment. Let me continue with my report. First, I'll start with the good stuff. First of all, I'd like to congratulate Chief Parham on going from provisional to permanent. You know, as the mayor of this town, this great town, one of the only departments that I'm responsible for is the police department. And like any mayor, you want to have a safe town, and you want your police department to be all that it can be. And before I appointed Chief Parham, I knew that he would be the guy to make this police department all that it could possibly be. I'm very impressed with the initiatives that he has brought forward. I am very impressed with the changes that he's making in the department. I'm very impressed with the fact that he is a person who looks at risk assessment, and he's constantly figuring out ways to make that department better and reduce the risk as far as lawsuits and anything else that can occur as a result of the police department not functioning at its full potential. So I thank him for doing all that he does with that department, and I can assure you that we can look for great things to come in that department. So continue to do your good work, Chief, and myself and this governing body, the police department, and the citizens of Linden are behind you 100%. Next thing, I'm going to talk about some other happy stuff here. Oh, and not to mention all the new hires. I want to congratulate all you young people who were hired this evening as laborers for our city. I'd like to let you all know, Linden is a great place, a great city to work for, okay? And now that you're city employees, guess what? There's a residency requirement, so it's going to be a great place for you to live for the rest of your lives until you retire. So should you choose to stay on board, I do believe that you'll enjoy working for this city. You young people are our future, and hopefully 20, 30 years from now, I'll be looking at you guys. You guys will be operating in supervisory capacities, and you guys will be the ones who will be running the city. So congratulations to all you guys who were hired this evening. Earlier this evening, we mentioned, or Michelle Yamakaitis, Councilman Yamakaitis mentioned our Backpack to School, which is August 21st, 2017. And it is a collaboration, again, with my office, the Mayor's Youth Commission, local businesses, and the flyer says faith and community-based partners, okay? Now, one faith and community-based partner is group called CIC, and is headed up by Pastor Pam Jones. And it was last year that Pastor Pam Jones came to the city, and rather than having a number of backpack events all over the town, she decided to try to coordinate and have one united effort, and it went over very well last year, and we're looking to make it better this year. And I just want to take the time to personally thank her for her efforts. She's constantly giving and doing whatever is necessary to bring good things to our community. She volunteered in 2015 when I became mayor to head up a Linden First project, which another great and successful program that is working to hire Linden residents, and I can't thank her enough. So once again, thank you for all you do. And August 21st, 2017, 5:30 to 8:30 p.m. at the Raymond Wood Bower Promenade. In case of rain, the event will be held at the Linden High School Gymnasium. In addition to giving out backpacks, we will be providing free pizza, hot dogs, chips, and juice. So please register. Maybe later on this evening, Pastor Pam can come up and tell you guys what you have to do to register. Some more happy news. The Raymond Wood Bower Promenade, we have our 2017 concert series, which will be continuing from tonight until September 5th. We have comedy nights and we have concert nights. I do urge residents to come out and attend. We're also providing a transportation to the senior citizens over on Dill Avenue so that they will be able to come and enjoy these wonderful shows. I think it's money well spent. People come out and they really have a great time. I know I attended one of the comedy shows and I was able to attend one of the concerts, and they're actually very nice. And it doesn't cost you anything. So if you want to take your wife out or your husband out, you can kind of go out. It's a cheap date for you. So, maybe go out and have dinner afterwards. So, some more good news. Linden Cultural Committee is presents the Mystic Vision Players Hairspray. That's a Broadway musical. It's going to be July 21st, July 22nd, the 27th, the 28th, and the 29th from 8 p.m. at 8 p.m. On July 23rd, it'll be 3 p.m. Tickets are $15 for general admission for adults, $12 for students and seniors. You can call 908-925-7619 or visit mysticvisionplayers.com to order. They've always done an outstanding job in our city, so do go out and support this group. Again, it's a worthwhile cause, and it's very good entertainment at a very reasonable price for residents in Linden. We also have Mayor Derek Armstead in the city of Linden. We present our 3rd annual Unity Day. This year we're going to have Julie McKnight and Sting International, as well as a silent dance party square area where you will actually be wearing headphones and you can listen to music with headphones. The event started out very small 2 years ago, and it's growing, and we're looking for a great event again this year. So if you have a chance, please stop by, and that will be Saturday, August 12th, from 2 o'clock p.m. to 10 p.m. at the Raymond Bower Promenade, and we will be utilizing the area in back of CVS as well. So if you get a chance, please stop by. Admission is free. It's a free event. So we will have vendors there. So if you want to, support the vendors, we would appreciate that. If you get a chance when we have this event, don't hesitate. Shop on Wood Avenue. Go make a purchase. Help our local businesses as well. Last but not least, we're going to talk a little bit about the budget. As you all know, tonight we finalized our budget. We adopted our new budget. I just want residents to understand, when you look at that budget, it's not just, you see where your tax dollars are going, it's not just this governing body who raises taxes. The pie chart that was depicted showed that the county budget is almost half of what our municipal budget is. Okay? We have a school budget that is higher than our budget. So what I would encourage, and as much as we have to sharpen our pencils, I encourage the residents in Linden to be vigilant and approach school board members and those who are responsible for that budget, and approach your elected officials at the county level and those who are responsible for that budget, and have them do due diligence as well, because you know, the issue here is that people are having a very difficult time living in these municipalities, Linden as well as others. I mean, we're not the only town that is suffering from the increased taxes. So in order to really effectively reduce taxes, it has to be done on all fronts, not just the municipal portion. It has to be done at the Board of Education and at the county level. So that concludes my reports, ladies and gentlemen, and may you all enjoy the remainder of your summer, and hopefully I'll see you in August, God willing. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. At this time, we're going for resolutions. I'm asking for a motion to remove resolutions 2017-255 and 256 from consideration. And 256. I need a motion to remove 255 and 256.
Yes, Council President, I make a motion to remove Resolution 2017-255 and 2017-256, and ask for a second.
Second.
Mrs. Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Brooks?
Yes.
Crosby Hurling?
Yes.
Sadowski?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Yemakaitis?
Yes.
Medina?
Yes.
Hickey?
Yes.
Mr. Alvarez?
Yes. Public comments will be permitted for those specific resolutions to be removed from the consent approval. Please read the synopsis of the resolution, which have been prepared by the city clerk's office. Each is informative and self-explanatory. However, if you wish to address a specific resolution, the council will entertain questions on it. Anybody? 254? Anything else? Ms. Malik?
Yes.
Anybody else? Mr. Roman? Anybody else? Ms. Cosby?
278.
What was that, 270?
278.
Mr. Mack? Anybody else? Okay, I need a motion.
Yes, Council President, I make a motion for Resolution 2017-252 through 2017 through 279, with the exception of 254, 261, 269, 270, 265, and 278. I ask for a second.
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 Mrs. Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Brooks?
Yes.
Crosby Hurling?
I'm going to vote no for 258 and yes to the others that were read.
Sadowski?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Yemakaitis?
Yes.
Medina?
Yes.
Hickey?
Yes to all with the exception of number 253.
Alvarez?
Yes. Ms. Wolverine, can you please come up? 254?
It says here that qualifying certain personnel as a special counsel for aviation matters. Is this just for our airport, or also would be for Newark Airport?
No, it's just our airport.
Because I'm telling you, the noise coming out of Newark Airport lately, in the mornings now, it's intensified every day. Sometimes it's like, starts at 6:30, wakes me up, goes till 8:30. In the evening, sometimes it's at midnight. I have never heard the planes go over my house so much. And I remember Scotch Plains not too long ago complained, and they had petitions for the route to be changed. Well, by the time it gets to Scotch Plains, it's a lot higher in the sky. By the time it's coming from here, sometimes I can even see the pilot and what plane it is. So I was hoping that, someone could look into the Newark Airport routes. I mean, I understand it has to have to go over my house occasionally, but lately it seems to be every day, and it's at horrible times when you're trying to sleep. So I was hoping that this person could also look into that.
Ma'am, if I remember correctly, they change the routes every so often, but I'm going to talk to Ms. Antonelli and see if we can look into it to see what can be done.
Because I noticed lately it's at hours when you're trying to sleep.
Yeah.
I don't mind during the day, but early in the morning or 12 o'clock at night,
All right, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you. No, that's for our aviation plaza. That's for our airport. All right, then we'll pass it over to them. Ms. Malik?
Can someone just provide some specifics when they say aviation matters? What are these aviation matters?
Ms. Antonelli?
Ms. Malik, this resolution, first of all, what the city does with other professionals as well, we go out for a request for qualifications. So right now, we're not awarding a contract to hire aviation counsel. So it's just a request for qualification to, in the future, perhaps hire counsel to assist the city vis-a-vis its airport and the FAA. So right now, they're being handled internally by my office in collaboration with the mayor and Councilman Strano. We're dealing with the FAA on certain issues I'm not at liberty to discuss right now, but however, if it escalates to a certain point in the future, we don't have to now qualify counsel, we could just award a contract. So it's really specific to the airport here in Linden and the FAA.
Involving litigation?
No litigation, just enforcement issues. We're disputing certain positions FAA has taken. So right now, we've been back and forth with them for several months. But again, this is being done out of an abundance and caution. And hopefully we won't have to retain counsel and we could resolve it internally.
Thank you.
Thank you. Can I have a motion for 2017-254, please?
Yes, Council President, I make a motion for the resolution 254 and ask for a second.
Second.
Mrs. Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Brooks?
Yes.
Cosby Hurling?
Yes.
Sadowski?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Yemekaitis?
Yes.
Medina?
Yes.
Hickey?
Yes.
Mr. Alvarez?
Yes. Ms. Malik, 261?
Here it says specifically not to exceed 55K. That's kind of interesting, not to exceed it, but someone to explain what is this going to be used for?
Mrs. Sack?
Each year, the governing body enters into the contract with the Linden Economic Development Corp. This money is going to be given to them, and they then pass a budget and appropriate however they see fit funds for Linden Economic Development Corp.
Is that also for the person that leads the Linden Economic Development Corp?
It's used part of that, yeah. The board dictates what his salary is. This is to fund the entire operation of LEDC. So if they do advertising, if they do meetings, conventions, and conferences, if they do any type of activity, this is the budget that they utilize to fund that, as well as support staff.
Sure. And what is the current salary to the person for the LEDC for?
I don't have that information. LEDC is autonomous. All I know is the city gives this allocation to them, however they fund it is.
Does
I
anyone
don't know
know?
if Councilman Brown knows.
Mr. Brown?
I believe it's 30,000. If you remember a couple years ago, it used to be 65,000 and the individual.
That was
Yeah, no, it was like maybe 4 or 5 years ago, LEDC was at 65,000, and then we decreased it down, I think, 35,000 or 30, no, or what is the lowest, 20, let's just say 30. So we've slowly been increasing it for them to justify what are they expending, not on the salaries, but other services, other things that they're doing. I do also believe, Joe, if you can correct me, LEDC is open to the public, I believe, so if you wanted to go to the meetings, you could go as well.
Yes.
And then also ask them how they're spending their money as well.
Stay here, ma'am. Don't go away. 265?
This is just to understand, a generator, adapter, controller, cabinets. It's not necessarily about the money, but, you know, what are these cabinets
Chief Barham?
used for and everything?
Good evening. So if you can recall back in Superstorm Sandy, when all the lights were out on the highway, and any other major storm that we've had, the lights go out. And obviously, these traffic conditions created a really tremendous problem for us.
So this is strategically placed?
Exactly.
Okay,
So
got it.
these cabinets, basically what we've done in the past is we've kind of broken into the little cabinets and make sure that the lights were working to increase the safety for the citizens of Linden. Our traffic bureau has done an excellent job doing that. Not necessarily the best thing for us to do, realizing that you know, we need to get the state's approval and 1,000 other things need to go on to make that happen. This particular order here is saying we're going to do it right. We're not going to have to pay for all of it. We have to pay for about 25% of it, but these things will be done right. So when we, God forbid, we should have another major storm, we can make sure that our lights are operational.
And just to segue onto your comment there, $62,000 for this type of a control cabinet, and I can envision that there are quite a few strategic corners in our city, so that even seems, you know, a low ball for a control cabinet, is what you're saying? I mean,
Right. So there are several different locations. We're looking at Route 27 in Park Ave, Route 27 in DeWitt, Route 1 in Morse Mill, Route 1 in Woodlawn, Route 1 in Clinton Street, Route 1 in Avenue C, and there are a couple of other ones. Major thoroughfares in the city that would allow traffic to go seamlessly in the event of an emergency.
Good.
Thank you.
And ma'am, don't sit down. We're not done yet. 278?
But there's other people on 278. Just let her name.
No, I don't have anybody else on.
You got me and John.
No, I think
No,
there was some, yeah.
270.
Oh, this is 278.
Yes, ma'am.
Sorry.
Okay.
Since I'm here, I'll go.
Yes.
All right. I seem to remember that there were other postings or resolutions for strategies, for public relations. So I just want to, you know, ask, are we, you know, what public relations services are they going to be providing? And I seem to recall, in not too distant past, that I had asked similar questions about why do we need an outside public relations person?
Mayor?
Yes, this particular company is going to be handling the public relations for the town as a whole. In the past, you may have seen something on the agenda. It had to do with more or less with marketing. That individual does flyers and things that are necessary to do pictorial type of things. This public relations person will be the guy or the firm that gets out in front of issues. They will help promote the city. If you look at other towns of our size, towns like Union has an actual person on staff who they pay $65,000 a year, plus medical coverage and benefits. A town like Linden, we definitely have a lot going on in our town, and it would behoove us to have someone at the public relations helm making sure that the city is being seen in a positive light. So anything that comes out of our office, my office, if the council people want to have something put out, the public relations person can help get that out and disseminate it. He's also going to be producing quarterly newsletters for the town, so as well as making sure that the proper updates are done on our website, and that we're making sure that information is being disseminated properly on Facebook, the city's Facebook, as well as anything that needs to go out to TV 36 and TV 42. So in essence, he will be helping us to, I guess, improve the image of the city or the firm.
And he will be reporting to your office?
He will be reporting to my office, but mind you that any of the people in the governing body or any department heads can provide him with information as they see necessary to have it disseminated throughout the city.
And when you say strategy, or the newsletters, are these newsletters to the city or more newsletters outside of the city?
They'll be for residents in the city to basically keep you abreast of the many things that are going on in town, because people just don't know what's occurring in town, and it will be his responsibility to make sure that information is disseminated. To give you an idea, one such thing, we talked about a Port Authority this evening. There are a number of developments in town that are happening. He will be the one responsible for getting that message out and highlighting the positive things that are going on in Linden. As you know, there have been a number of negative events that have happened, and in cases like that, he will be the person to get out in front of those negative events or any negative press to help put a better face on it.
And then, do we have a person that is more out of the city type strategy, public relations? Because you're talking more of inside the city, but doing things, communicating things outside of the city.
Well, I think
Would that be this person or the marketing person?
The whole idea is to market the city. I mean, so if he's making...
That's the marketing person, I thought you said.
Well, the whole idea is in public relations, PR, is to put a face on it. So whatever strategy that he puts in place, it will be to shed a good light on the city of Linden. And if you're doing that, I'm sure that other towns in the surrounding area, as well as the state, will hopefully get the idea of what's going on in our town that is good.
All right, so this is kind of marketing. So then why do we have two separate groups? You mentioned a marketing group and a strategy group. I would think one party would be best fit to have control over both the marketing and the strategy.
Well, perhaps, we're going to take a good hard look at that, and perhaps we may very well find out that we need to do away with one of them and have it all fall under one particular entity. But at this time, we're hopeful that the two separate groups will be able to work in unison and be able to not only market, but get out in front of any of the issues that are affecting the town from a public relations standpoint.
Right, and then when I read this, it's saying a resolution awarding a contract. So has this contract actually been let to this person?
Well, tonight,
This is officially
we'll be awarding the contract tonight after we vote on it.
And has that marketing one also been done? Has
That
been
was
let?
done several months ago. We did the marketing.
Okay. And
Again,
this
it's-
contract is for not to exceed 15,000. Your expectation over what type of time frame are you
Well,
expecting this to
You
have
can
some
you can prorate it. If it's
fruition?
$15,000 annually, you can do the math and figure from August or from today's date until the end of the year, and develop some sort of schedule as to how much that would be per month until January. So at that point, you could either reissue the contract in January and do it from January 1st to December 31st of next year, or you could let the $15,000 begin tonight and end next year on July 18th. So we have an option here. But again, the idea here is to bring in a PR firm that will work hand in hand with the marketing firm to promote Linden and let people know some of the great things that are occurring in our town.
And that marketing firm is in residence or doing something currently for the city?
Yes, they are.
Okay, and where are they located?
They're located here in Linden, and the person who's going to be doing the PR, the company who's doing the PR, will be, he's also he's a Linden resident as well.
And what's his name? You said George?
Beg your
No,
pardon?
that's me.
Oh, you're the marketing?
No, they've been calling my name out here.
Okay, all right, thank you.
You're quite welcome.
Ms. Cosby? Speak up.
Okay, so when I first saw this, I was a little surprised because I didn't believe that we the city needed an actual public relations firm. I thought that if we all did a great job, that's public relations and we share our information and everything is supposed to come from the mayor's office. Traditionally, the mayor's confidential secretary would do a press release. and that would be part of their job description. And so when I saw this, I was, a little confused, and the mayor was kind enough to invite the gentleman to come tonight. So he did come, and he gave his spiel. He talked about his credentials. He talked about what his intentions were going to be, he and his partner together. But what I found interesting was everything that he said he will do for us, we already have someone doing. So now I'm confused. We have the press releases, again, right now they're being done as I thought they would be, either by us, the clerk, the public information officer from the police, or council members. I send a press release if I have something that's happening in the city. The website, we have Alpha Dog, and we're actually in the process of upgrading our website. The web manager, the webmaster who we have and we've been using for a number of years, manages quite well Twitter and the Facebook, the official city social media. So I'm not sure why they can't continue to do that. They also will tweak any information that comes that they need to tweak before they put it on the city's calendar for the website. We have the marketing firm who is, I can't remember the name of it, it's Council, C9. So it's former Councilman Cozio, right? He's from Linden, he knows Linden all his life, he's doing the marketing, he created a template that we're gonna use, and everybody's branding the city with the same information. And who better than him if you're talking about giving more publicity or to relate with the public than someone who is from here and has been on the city council. I don't know. But he's doing that now, working with the webmaster. So now we have somebody else who I'm being told is going to come in, and he's going to supersede all of this and going to be the point person, which is still confusing. Then we were told that he's going to also be the lead for our LindenTV. Now I'm really confused because we just created that position and posted it, and now we're going to have a guy do that, and it's not going all so badly, but that is still part of what we have that exists, and that's a city employee. So $15,000 is not a whole lot of money, but when you think about it, is it really necessary? Seriously. The guy, he waved me off when he left. He was a nice gentleman, but he's in the car with New York tags. Does he really live in Linden? I know some of the other members were looking up the company and couldn't find much about this organization. I'm still confused. I just don't want us to have this put in place for someone to do their political campaigning on the city's budget. Because at the end of the day, if it's not broken, right now we have a perfectly good system. Our technology committee works well with Alpha Dog, and we send our information and it goes out, and some people may not get it in the newspaper, but that's something we can address. If it's not going to print, then we'll do more print. You know what I mean? Like 15,000, and we're talking about tightening our budget and sharpening our pencils. I'm not going to vote for me, to give a friend of a friend or whatever this is, 15 grand, when we already have things in place that if we needed to adjust them and make them a little better, we should do that and not just keep throwing our money out the window. So those are my comments.
Mr. Roman?
Mr. President, before Mr. Roman speaks.
Mayor, you can wait till the end, please, because a lot of people want to talk on this.
Council, John Francis Roman, 15 West Linden. In regards to Resolution 278 that we are discussing, PR strategies, public relations services for 15 grand. It's not a whole lot of money, I agree. Whose PR strategies?
Well, the gentleman, Mrs. Cosby mentioned, she said she wasn't sure that he lived in Linden. Maybe after the council meeting, we could pay him a visit over on Bauer Street, if you like. I know he lives on Bauer Street. I know he's a Linden resident. I know he's an adjunct professor at NYU. I know he's very good at what he does, and I feel very strong that he'll do a good job. I feel it's something that's necessary, and I think as many cities, are using PR, public relations personnel. Again, as I mentioned earlier, the town of Union has one PR person who makes $65,000 a year plus benefits. Okay, now, I know you work for the county. Do they have any public relations people there?
Entire department.
You have an entire department.
It's a necessary thing. You guys probably should have it as well.
Well, it's a necessary thing. It really is necessary. I'm glad you concur.
Yes, I absolutely do. Actually, what we have right now is working quite well.
Well,
I'd like to shout out to Mr. Koziol, former councilman, who's doing a hell of a job right now doing that. Now, what different is PR strategies? First off, PR strategies, according to your resolution that you are about to pass, is from 3611 Park Avenue, Union City.
Well, that's where their office is at, okay?
It's an apartment
One-
building.
One of the principals there.
It's an apartment building, so it's an apartment.
Our other person, Rich Kozel, his address is his home.
Understandable, but you
Okay.
just said he lived in Linden.
Well,
Why is
Kevin
it- why is it
Derrick
a Union City
Kevin
address?
Derrick lives in Linden on Bower Street, and if you'd like to join us, Mr. Roman, you can attend also. We could have a little party over Mr. Derrick house this evening.
And now, has anyone else, granted it's 15,000, but has anyone else was this put out there?
Yes,
at
it
all?
was. We did,
Okay.
we did a request for qualifications. We did, yes, sir.
Had anyone responded to the RFP?
We had 3 respondents. And what stood out, again, the most was that one of the principals for the company lived in Linden, and he was even willing to come into Linden, into City Hall, and work if necessary. So I thought that was very good, that we have a person so close. If we have to reach out and touch him, he's here.
For the record, one of those people that reached out to propose, talk about the RFQ, is the best in the state.
Well, I guess.
Flat out. He submitted an extensive proposal showing his work for several senators for the state Democratic Party, and he's just flat out the best in the business.
That sounds
So,
political to me.
One of the things that I want to mention.
So we're ignoring.
That sounds political to me.
Hold on a minute, let him speak,
No,
please.
I'm stating his work and what he's done.
Mr. Roman, just continue, please.
Thank you. Now, to ignore that is a big deal, because he is literally, no doubt, I've worked with him personally before, he's the best in the state. To work for someone who, no offense, PR Strategies is not a registered LLC in the state. It's just something that's made up here to hand out some money. Now, you just spent $1.6 million limited gas tax. I applaud you for it. It was brilliant. But let's start right now. Let's start making up that money right now.
We can start making it
Council
up when you
President?
become a council person.
Wait.
Is there a time
How about,
limit?
sir? I'm good, Council
All right.
President, thank you.
Councilman
All right.
Brown?
So a couple of things. John, if you were there tonight, then you would have learned a little bit about this company. Yes, he's an adjunct professor who lives in Linden at NYU, and one of the classes he teaches is PR. As far as being one of the best in the business, he's lived in Linden. He stayed here. He lived in Linden for 25 years. He's been in the business for 30 years. So to discredit him without even knowing anything about him and not listening to his presentation, I'm sorry, it gets me a little bit upset. The second thing is you saying that we're fine as far as what we're doing. You yourself post things on Facebook that residents are not being let aware. Hold on, you got to talk. You yourself post things on Facebook that residents aren't aware of things. So I'll give you a perfect example. Forget the press release. People come here and ask questions, and he had his time, so there's no need for him to come
Yeah.
back and forth.
Let him speak.
Thank you. So people complain that they're not aware of things that are going on. The perfect example is right outside. We have the streetscape program, and people come to the council meeting wanting information. What the city needs to do is be more proactive as far as not just events that happen in town, but then other initiatives that are happening. The streetscape is the perfect opportunity where residents were coming here asking questions, where we should have done what other towns have done, is going out to the public, letting them know what's going on, educating them, getting feedback. This is something that a PR company would do. Now, as far as the marketing company, Cozy has done a great job. The PowerPoint presentation is something that I asked them to do, which is different from what we've done. If you go outside in the hallway, you'll see the flyers that he does. His job is to brand the city, and he's branched out to not just City Hall, but to other entities to make sure we have one cohesive branding. Now we need to get that message out there. Now, in addition to the $15,000 that we're talking here, and let's just say the $15,000 that we're spending for Coziel, that's less than the $60,000 that we used to spend for a marketing firm. But I'm pretty sure you know that already. Now, to hire somebody, as you're suggesting, that means is that you have to hire a salary, pay a pension, as well as pay for benefits as well. $15,000 is a lot cheaper than hiring an individual. But I'm sure you already know that.
I'm aware. My point was is that you said this is not a real company. That was
I didn't say it wasn't a real company.
No, but
You
just
said it.
said he has
Council
this
President.
background. He was not.
May I interrupt?
Yeah, hold on a minute.
Mr. Roman's time is up.
Okay.
Yes. And so I'm just going to leave it at this point, John.
Councilman,
Is that-
you're done too.
No,
You're
Everybody else
done.
got their
No,
fair share.
You're
Okay.
done. Okay. And Councilwoman Hickey, you're next. And finish it. Yes, speak.
Okay, I wanted to speak on this as well because I did have concerns. First of all, we allocated money during our budget hearings to the LEDC. We have our special improvement district that hands in a budget with a substantial amount of money on marketing. We also have Mr. Koziel, who is doing an amazing job. The flyers and presentations he's putting out are fabulous, and I think our idea when we hired him was that everything is uniform throughout the city. However, when I looked up this company, you know, we're all use Google nowadays, and you know what? We can all type our name in and see what comes up. This company did not come up at all. The only thing that came up is that it was an apartment building. My bigger concern is that we're so concerned with marketing and spending this $15,000, which isn't a lot of money. However, when we have redevelopment property and we have ways that we should be promoting our city and pulling money in, we're posting them in the newspaper for one day and then just making a deal, which is very, very sad. LEDC, I thought they were planning on doing some kind of newsletter. Rich Puchel was doing a great job. He has a lot of, you know, ideas and incentives. The Special Improvement District, you know, they're in their own court. But when we are a business here and we have a $109 million budget, and whether it's $15,000 or $50,000, if I can't go on Google and get the name of the person, of the company, I can't imagine how great of a marketer they could be for our city. And it makes me leery. If we keep doing this with so many companies, before you know it, I mean, we have problems. You know what? Let's take that money, the funding together, pull it together, get one good marketing person who's gonna market our property, because you know what? Linden is in the best place it could be. Parkway, Turnpike, Airport, Waterway. You know, let's move in the right direction instead of just giving money away like this. Thank you.
Councilwoman Makaitis?
Thank you, Council President. We just spent 15 minutes going back and forth on this. There's one missing thing that nobody brought up. We have some residents that can't afford cable TV. They're not computer savvy. We have heard the complaints listening to them at community meetings. They need to hear, they want to see something in writing. Many people still like to read a hard copy of something, so I think this is a good idea. It's something we could try. If it doesn't work, we could always get rid of it next year. But I think we need to reach out to the Linden residents in the form of newsletters coming from the city, letting them know what's going on with development, what's going on in the promenade, what's going on. We're getting new garbage cans in some wards. Some people don't know about it, and they don't watch the council meetings and things, and you know, a lot of times they can't attend our meetings. They're gonna have a garbage can delivered to their curb and say, what's this? So I support this. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you. Okay, let's have a motion for. Sir, you didn't pick 278. You got 269, we haven't got there yet. Yes, sir. 268 got approved already. You want 278? What number you have for Mr. Mack?
I have 269.
Thank you. Mr. Mack,
That's what we-
come up and speak up, please, and make it short. Can you change Mr. Mack to 278, please?
I'm so grateful to the citizens of Linden, the honorable people. Everything I listed, they had already addressed, so I'm not going to piggyback off of that because they have did a fantastic job. The only job that I found that the people, I didn't say it, I didn't come up here to tell you, the people told me to tell you. The people told me, if you will, honorable.
You say potatoes, I say.
217, 278 should be taken off this list. I didn't say it now, the people said, take it off, go back to caucus. Go back and sit down amongst yourselves and straighten this thing out. Because the peoples have a very serious problem with it. It's not a matter of what it is, it's a matter of principles. That's what the people, I didn't say it, people said it. Matter of principle. So y'all should take this off. I'm talking to all of you, from the president, from the mayor to you, Mr. President, and all members of council. Take this thing off of here and say we're gonna go back and talk about it again. And what I heard, personally heard, the peoples, talk to the peoples, and then say, then we'll go with it.
Thank
That's
you,
all
sir.
you gotta do. Do what the lady said. Put it, because they don't understand. My people do not understand. And here is your duty, you, council people, duty, to make it clear to the peoples what y'all are doing, because they don't understand it. Therefore, you should pull this off, you understand, in the name of God. Pull it off right now.
Thank you,
Right
sir.
now.
Thank you.
Pull it off and do it later. Thank you.
I need a motion for 254, 261, 265, and 278.
Council President, I make a motion, let me just correct you here, 261, 265, 278. We're also adding 269 and 270, which no comments were made on those
Correct.
two resolution. So I make a motion for the approval of those, and I request a second.
Second.
Mrs. Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Brooks?
Yes, abstain to 278.
Crosby Hurling?
Yes, no to 278.
Sadowski?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Yemakaitis?
Yes.
Medina?
Yes.
Hickey?
Yes, with the exception of 278.
And your vote is no or Mrs. Hickey, are you voting no or abstaining on 278?
What's your vote on 278, Mrs. Hickey?
I was voting no on 278.
Thank you.
Mr. Alvarez?
Yes or no, 278 is a no.
Motion is approved.
Mr. Burdick, was every single one called? Every number was called?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now let's go into first readings, ordinances. We have 4 of them, 6146 through 6149. The deputy clerk will read the ordinance. If there's anyone wish to make a comment at the time, okay. Mrs. Honan, can you please read 6146?
Sure. An ordinance to amend and supplement Chapter 7 Traffic, Section 7-33 Handicap Parking Regulations, 7-33.1A Handicap Parking on Street, add 608 Roselle Street, 1 space, and 1112, that should be Winans Avenue, 1 space.
Does anybody wish to make a comment? No questions, just comments on this first reading. May I have a motion to introduce the ordinance, please?
Yes, Council President, I make a motion for the introduction of ordinance 61-46. I request a second.
Second.
Mrs. Ormond?
Yes.
Mr. Javik?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Brooks?
Yes.
Cosby Hurling?
Yes.
Sadowski?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Yemakaitis?
Yes.
Medina?
Yes.
Hickey?
Yes.
Mr. Alvarez?
Yes. Mrs. Honan, can you please read 6147?
An ordinance to amend and supplement Chapter 31 zoning of an ordinance entitled, "An Ordinance Adopting and Enacting the Revised General Ordinances of the City of Linden, 1999, passed November 23rd, 1999, and approved November 24th, 1999, as amended and supplemented."
Excuse me. Does anybody wish to make a comment? No questions on this ordinance? May I have a motion to introduce, please?
I move ordinance 6147 on introduction and ask for a second.
Second.
Mrs. Ormond?
Yes.
Mr. Javik?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Brooks?
Yes.
Cosby Hurling?
Yes.
Sadowski?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Yemakaitis?
Yes.
Medina?
Yes.
Hickey?
Yes.
Mr. Alvarez?
Yes. Mrs. Honan, can you please read 6148?
Bond ordinance authorizing various capital improvements at the Linden train station and appropriating $1 million therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $950,000 in bonds or notes to finance part of the cost thereof.
Anybody wish to make a comment? No questions? May I have a motion to introduce, please?
Council President, I'd like to introduce ordinance number 6148. Request a second.
Second.
Mrs. Ormond?
Yes.
Mr. Javik?
Yes.
Brown? Yes. Brooks?
Yes.
Cosby Hurling?
Yes.
Sadowski?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Yemakaitis?
Yes.
Medina?
Yes.
Hickey?
Yes.
Mr. Alvarez?
Yes. Mrs. Hunan, can you please read 6149?
An ordinance amending Chapter 2, Section 15, entitled Division of Personnel Services. This moves the Division of Personnel Services supervision from the city treasurer to the city clerk.
Anybody wish to make a comment?
Council President?
Yes?
I would too.
Okay. Make your comment. No, you said something?
You didn't hear?
No, I'm sorry, I didn't. Okay. Ms. Cosby, please.
Okay. So, I actually wish I could make a motion to table this for reconsideration, only because we just talked about this last night, and it was a surprise to the treasurer, who actually is the person who the personnel division sits under at this current point. We talked about it last night, and there was a little, we didn't come to a consensus, basically, so the president has put it on the floor. But I'm inclined to kind of like pull it back. If we could make a motion to maybe table this and have more discussion on it, only because this could possibly cause an issue for the treasurer if we're pulling her responsibility, even though there have never been any marked issues with her performance as the treasurer, which is what we were told. She has to focus on the budget. But 2 months ago, we hear accolades and, everybody's all, falling over themselves to thank her for her hard work and her staff. And all of a sudden, she needs to focus on the budget more so than the personnel division. I just want to say that without getting myself in any trouble whatsoever, I hope, the personnel division runs itself. The day-to-day is run by the clerk 3 who's in that division, which means if you move the division, all you're doing is having them report to somebody else on paper because the department is still being run by the same people. So again, why are we doing this when we have the opportunity in the future to either outsource this department and save $300,000 for the city of Linden, or we can put this under the Business Administrators Division, where we had intended it in 2014 when we agreed to get a business administrator, and the mayor did say that he's, looking at an individual who he thinks our full council would support. So I'm gonna make a recommendation, I don't know how it's gonna go, that we pull this and table this, and I ask for a second.
Hold on a minute. Mr. Antonelli, that can be done correctly, right? She did it correctly? She can ask for a table right now, then we'll go and,
She could certainly ask for a motion to table with a second, then there would have to be a vote before then the motion
just
to
for the
proceed.
table, correct. Yes, ma'am, you can ask for a second now.
Okay, can I have a second on the motion to table this and we go back to and talk about this more and consider what we're doing?
Mrs. Ormond?
No.
Javik?
No.
Brown?
No.
Brooks? Yes. Cosby Hurling?
Yes.
Sadowski?
No.
Strano?
No.
Yemakaitis?
No.
Medina?
Yes.
Hickey? Mr. Alvarez?
Yes.
Defeated.
Okay, you done with your comment?
The table,
No.
the motion to table is defeated.
The motion was defeated. So all I'm going to say now is watch the actions of the people who don't want to table this, because again, these were the same people who 3 months ago were falling over themselves for the treasurer, and nothing's going to change by having these people report to someone else. I'm not going to say anything else because I don't want to cause any problems for the city in my capacity as a council member, but the culture is what it is, and the division of personnel is what it is, and whoever is running it on the day-to-day is the issue and not the person whom they report to. And those are my comments.
Councilwoman Hickey?
Well, I believe almost about everything that Councilwoman Cosby Hurley mentioned. It's unfortunate and it's very frustrating. You know, I don't see any reason for this to happen. The mayor made it very clear to us that he has somebody to be a business administrator that he thinks we'll all be happy with. I don't know why this can't just hold off until then. On another note, last month's meeting, it was my turn. This month's meeting, it's our CFO's turn. I guess this is the way we roll now. Very vindictive things happen on council. Thank you.
Councilman Brown?
Okay. I explained earlier, taxes have gone up 104% since 2006. We all get, whether it's emails, notifications on Facebook, even the mayor's office, that people are not happy with their services. We need to change the way that we do business here in this city. One focusing on the finances, the other is focusing on HR and personnel. A couple years ago, we talked about splitting the Personnel Finance Committee, which we did. And one group focuses on the personnel issue, another focuses on a finance issue. I brought this up a couple years ago, separating this, and going back to what we had originally, where you had a separation between the personnel division or the personnel office or the department head who's in charge of personnel in your finance office. If anyone can tell me any municipality out of over 556 municipalities in the state of New Jersey where you have your finance and your personnel under one division, please let me know. Even in corporate America, you have a separation. Linden needs to run more efficient. The only thing I can say is taxes have gone up, services have gone down, and we need to do things differently. I can go more details about it next council meeting, but we need change here. And we need also, as far as the budget, it's funny. I've been on the budget committee for the last 4 years. We don't start the budget process in January. A week from now, we're gonna start the 2018 budget. And yes, we're taking away $1.6 million off. We need to sharpen our pencils even more and concentrate even on finances more. And we can't do the finance and the personnel issues because right now it's not working in the city.
Anybody else?
Yes, Mr. President, if you will. You know, going back, the personnel division always came under the clerk. Some years back, there was an individual in the office, and she wasn't taking care of the things that she was supposed to take care of with regards to personnel issues. So what occurred was we decided to move it over to a different division. And it was supposed to be temporary at the time. As Councilman Brown has indicated, we do have our work cut out for us next year with regard to this budget. And I think that the finance division should be focused on finance, and we should let those personnel functions be housed somewhere else as they were in the past under the clerk's office. And as Councilman Hickey mentioned, yes, in a couple of months, it's very likely that we will have a BA. Now, whether or not, you know, you will approve of that BA is another story, because it seems to me that, you know, again, I'm going to go with the you say potato, I say potato. So I'm, you know, I'm almost guaranteed that no matter who I put up, you're probably going to vote the other way on it. If you look at the votes, they're usually going 6-5 every time here. So it seems that there's some sort of issue here with whatever I put on the agenda. And yes, the idea of moving personnel, I'll be one of the first to admit it. I'll take responsibility for such an idea because I feel that the finance department should focus on finance now. We do have our work cut out for us, and like as mentioned several times tonight, we need to sharpen our pencils and get these budgets in order.
Okay, no one else? May I have a motion to introduce the ordinance, please?
Council President, I move for introduction of ordinance 6149 and request a second.
Second.
Mrs. Ormond?
Yes.
Mr. Javik?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Brooks?
Abstain.
Cosby,
No.
Cosby Hurling? Sadowski?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Yamikaitis?
Yes.
Medina?
No.
Hickey?
No.
Mr. Alvarez?
I'm going to say yes, but the reason for that is I spoke with the mayor, as Mr. Mack tells me all the time that I should speak with the mayor. So we did have a little talk. He told me that by September, he will be introducing to the council a BA. And this position, the department should go under the BA. I also told them if there is no BA, that I want a manager that will have the human resources, what's needed to run the small section of the department. Isn't that correct, Mayor? That's what I asked?
That's correct.
Okay, and he told me yes. So by September, if we don't have a BA, or if we're not working on having a BA, we will have to go for a manager. That's the reason that I say yes. At this time, we're going to entertain comments from the members of the public in attendance on city business only. Anybody that wants to make a comment? I need your name here.
Council President, may I interrupt?
Yes.
I believe the clerk has to read. Okay, just want to be sure. Okay. I had thought that the motion made by Councilman Brown was to add it to the agenda, and there was a vote on that.
Yes.
Okay. I apologize.
If you want to vote, you vote what the motion was to introduce.
Okay, he did as an introduction.
So we're okay? It's introduced? Not going to bother me anymore? Okay. Can I have, you will have 5 minutes only. No derogatory comments, no political comments. Direct all your comments to me. After that, any answers that will be given by the council will be 1 minute, and in the minute, it's only to answer any questions that you had. So speak for the 5 minutes, and then you will have a seat, and when we're finished with everybody, we will answer them. Oh, you're on the list? Okay. You're Greg Howbrown? Yes. Did I say that right?
Yeah, close enough.
Then I'm fine.
Okay. First of all, again, my name is Craig Haller, and I live at 120 Donaldson. My condolences to the council president and
Thank you.
Councilwoman Orman.
Thank you.
Before, during the meeting, it was brought up that Linden needed a municipal port authority and that the mayor would have a seat on that. My question is, to look after the town of Linden and how our taxes are spent, why isn't the mayor on the Board of Education with the voting seat and the Linden Roselle Sewage Authority? I think that should be something that should be addressed because he represents our town. This should be something that should be done. Okay, another thing is, the other day I had the privilege of walking under Stiles Street Railroad Bridge. And I think the sidewalk there is atrocious. Who maintains this? This is something that has to be addressed also. Okay? And as much as I do love trees in towns and stuff like that, I honestly do. But the last time this came up at my address, they wanted to put it over a 4-inch water line that was in the ground between my sidewalk and my curb. Does anybody ever consult the sewage authority or anybody about tree roots getting into water lines, sewer lines, or anything? I was told by the people that were doing it at the time, oh, that's never gonna happen. I have 28 and a half years working in the sewage business. I've seen pictures of pipes busted by tree roots. Okay, this is, I mean, again, I love trees, I honestly do. I believe that's all I have. Thank you very much for your time, and again, my condolences.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Sir? Nothing. Thank you, we got it. Mr. Roman? 5 minutes, sir, and direct all your comments to me, please.
Thank you, Council President. Council President, I would just like to give a shout out to Councilman Strano here for helping out Mary Joan and Renna and Sal Renna over on Emma Place. There were a bunch of houses flooded, and all the Blue Acres houses were full of mosquitoes. It's a bad mess, and thankfully, I think those houses are finally coming down. I know Councilman Strano had a big deal with them and public property and Mr. Micucci as well for cleaning those up. In regards to the garbage tax,
I stood right here June of 2013 and months prior, months before, and I worked with a lot of you trying to get that knocked down. I mean, you know, I remember every vote. I remember everything about that. I know who voted no, I who voted yes for it. After months of debate about it, you guys were in a spot, couldn't get under the budget because you guys blew all the money 10 years prior. Most of you were on council, some of you weren't. So you found your spot where you couldn't get under the 2% cap, and you had to instate a fee to just, obviously, as the mayor said, circumvent the law. Kudos to the mayor for springing this surprise ordinance on everyone here, except for Peter Brown, apparently. Definitely sprung it on the treasurer, that's for sure, I have to assume, because now, you know, budget going 364 days from now is now 1.6 million in the hole. Now, we all want to get rid of the garbage tax. I don't want to pay or have my father or my mother pay the garbage fee. They just can't afford it. No one in the city of Linden actually at this point can. But it's just a fugazi. It's a hell of a ploy, and that's what it comes down to. There's an election next year. Understandably, I get it. It's really brilliant, but there's a possibility with a Democratic governor coming in next year. Legislature might get rid of the 2% cap. And then you just go 3%, 4%, 5%, you do whatever you want. That's a possibility, however unlikely. Another thing is that you get to that point, what are you going to do? Where are you going to find a 1.6? You're going to keep spending? I mean, where is that 1.6 million? That's a lot of money. 2013, you weren't able to find it. You know, are we betting that we're going to have that much more ratables coming in? I mean, we're in trouble as it is, but good job. I mean, another thing is a question I would ask to the council president, because I'm only allowed to ask him, but what's going to stop you from, after the June election, just reinstating it? You know? Can I come back up here and ask for a cap again or a sunset clause on it again? Oh, wait, that's right. I'll actually be up there voting no to not reinstate it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, sir. Reverend, right? Reverend Pamela Jones? How are you, ma'am?
I'm well, thank you.
Haven't seen you in a long time.
Good evening.
Good
How are
evening.
you?
Just fine, thank you.
Okay. I just want to talk about the backpack to school, just the importance of it. There's so many people in the community that are in need. And in addressing the needs, I do believe that Mayor Armstead has taken a stand to bring people together and to have them work together to help our families. And so on the 21st of August at the Raymond Woodbauer Promenade, there is going to be a backpack to school for you, where we're going to be able to provide, last year 800, this year 1,000 to Linden residents only, and they must have proof of address. There's going to be online registration, and this week we're going to get that up on the website, how to do that, as well as other forms of communication to get that out. And there are going to be drop-off points, 5 drop-off points. If the citizens of Linden want to make donations, pencils, pens, paper, backpacks, you can do so at any of the 4 fire stations as well as the mayor's office. And you can do that up until August the 13th, and then we need to wrap it up to get everything pulled together. But that is exciting. Parents need to come with children that are ages, the small kids K to 8, and it's required that you have a parent with you. And then, of course, the older kids, they don't need to be accompanied. So we want to make sure that everyone gets registered. We're working on just ironing out some of the bugs from last year of the long, long lines and make it run a little bit smoother. We are going to have refreshments, and it's going to be a very, very nice day. So if it rains, it's going to be in the high school gym. So we do have a rain date, and we're making plans to make sure everything is accommodated. And I just want to thank at this time the mayor, but also the police chief, the fire chief, Mr. McDonald, and all of the areas of the city who are also coming together, as well as the community coming together to make this effort work. So I applaud everyone and thank you.
What time?
It's going to be from 5:30 to 8:30. I forgot that. Thank you so much. From 5:30 to 8:30 p.m. So we're asking people to come out and please support it. And I'd also like to put in a plug for Linden First. If there are people who are looking for jobs, on the third floor, right next to the mayor's office in the board planning room, on every Monday, except for when it's closed for holidays, we have there a training session for people, making them job ready. And then we have employers that we have engaged in relationships, employers such as Blue Apron, Amazon, New Jersey Transit, Rutgers, UPS, Walgreens, CVS, Cintas, Coach, Community Access, CAO, which is the airport company, Dollar General, FedEx, Heart to Heart Home Health Care, New York Community Bank, On Time Medical Transportation, Robert Wood Johnson, and we have many, many more of the local stores that we help from time to time. But if you have someone who is seeking employment, we first want to get them job ready, and we try to teach them resume building as well as answering the questions and, of course, interview questions so that they can be prepared, how to dress. We give them helpful hints. We also give them the soft skills, helpful hints on how to make the connection between removing themselves from being unemployed into becoming employed. And I can't begin to tell you the stories, the numbers of stories where families were losing homes, they were with their light bills being shut off, not having enough money for food, where people were making decisions on whether they would purchase their medication or, maybe give their kids some new sneakers. All of those things are being remedied through economic development efforts here in the city of Linden that I am so proud of. We're moving forward. I've been in Linden just about all of my life, but these things are showing the commitment that the city has to the citizens of Linden, and it's saying very dramatically, we care. So thank you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Reverend. Okay, at this time, oh, yes, forgot about him. Mr. Mack, I got 5 minutes for you.
Where's your good timer?
Reverend John, we worked together for many years over in the State Department. I'm so proud of you. I sit there and listen attentively to you, and I'm so proud of you. May God bless you and heaven smile on you that we may go forward with the agenda that you have set. And we are so happy on behalf of the people. We thank you. Mr. Mayor, Mr. President of City Council, members of City Council, I respectfully appear before you honorable peoples on behalf of the peoples. I thought it was a lecture, it was a very, how can I say it, if you will, it was a very harmonious night for me. And first I want to go to the family that I heard that someone passed away. And on behalf of the peoples, we offer our sincere condolences. In addition to that, to the family, we hope that you get through it, but not over it. And we pray to God, your prayer, our prayers is with you. Now, we must go to immediately business. Back to the mayor and Mr. President of City Council and members of council. I have a very serious problem. Yesterday, I was dealing with some people yesterday and with my brother, who was a fine employee of the city of Linden, and his birthday was yesterday. And so the city people, just the city people, I want to thank them for such beautiful words that they brought to my attention yesterday. But the bottom line, did I hear somebody messing with the personnel department of Linden? Did somebody say that?
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah? Somebody messing with it? Somebody messing with it? Okay. The personnel of the city of Linden is one of the greatest ladies. Watch your language. I didn't say a woman. I didn't say a woman. I said lady. Is you messing with her? Now you're messing with the city of Linden. And that's the bottom line. And that's the bottom line. Whoever did it, go to your office and call me. Call me. Call me. Because I want to see you in your office. And I know you just hit the clock because you're on time.
No,
but
you got time,
I
sir.
want this thing to be crystal clear. The personnel department in the city of Linden, I'm respectfully ask you to leave her alone. If anybody messing with her, please call me. I want to talk to you personally and privately in your office. Because she said to me something at the last council meeting I didn't know that she know. And that's the bottom line. I want to thank the city clerk in the city of Linden. I was in his office today, and I want to thank the professionals that they give to humanity. That's the city clerk. I left the city clerk's office, I went to the mayor's office. Yeah, I went there today myself. I want to thank them for their kindness. I went to the engineer department. I want to thank them. I went to the personnel department, and I went to the court department. Because I want to say, somebody want to talk to me? Because I want to talk to y'all. Because I heard in the grapevine that you're being disobedient. And I told y'all to stop, and I meant it. And I mean it. Y'all won't stop. What is wrong? What is the matter with y'all? We are beautiful people. How you gonna tell the personnel department? That's what bothers me. When you bother me, when you bother us, you bother me. You bother my brother, the personnel department. It's not nothing like that, but she's a good person. I don't want her to get tied up in politics. The answer is no. In addition to that, I want to say who voted. I'm talking to you, all of y'all who did it. I'm gonna ask you to rethink. Go home and pray. Go home and pray tonight and say, did I do the right thing? And I think you'll come up with the answer. Say, I messed that whole program up. You don't mess with people that way that fight for Peter Brown. Stop. Stop. You know that girl is good, and you better fight for me. Because you're in the department of it, and Peter Brown, the people told me, you tell Peter that he better take care of it, and he mean it. Mounty Brooks, the people told me you did a fantastic job. Praise be to God. The mayor, boy, we love you. There ain't nothing you can do about it. But stop. Talk with us and stop talking at us.
Mr. Mack?
Yeah, all right.
Thank you, sir. I need a...
No.
Yes, sir.
Please forgive me, humanity. I beg humanity for forgiveness. Chief of police. Chief of police. We have a police that is, oh my God. I can't talk about the chief. The chief is good and he know he's good. Say no more.
Thank you, sir. I need a motion to close the public comments.
Motion.
Second?
Mrs. Ormond?
Yes?
Javik?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Brooks?
Yes.
Crosby Hurling?
Yes.
Sadowski?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Yamikaitis?
Yes.
Medina?
Yes.
Hickey?
Yes.
Mr. Alvarez?
Yes. Comments from the dais is only to answer the people who were just up. Who wants to talk?
I do.
Who else on the right side? Nobody? Oh, the chief? Chief, anybody else? Okay, that's it then. Mr. Brown, Councilman Brown?
Did you skip me?
Lisa.
Oh,
too. You wanna
well,
go
I'm
first?
sorry.
I know
All right.
I know we're only allowed to make comments as to what was said at the mic, so my comment is going to be to Chief Parham, because Mr. Mack did congratulate Chief Parham, and I do too want to take this opportunity to extend my sincere congratulations on your permanent position as our Chief of Police, a position that is well-deserved and well-earned, and I would just like to wish you many blessings, and may God always be with you.
Very good, Councilwoman, very good. I make the rules and you follow right on them. Very
Hold up
good.
the clock.
She only spoke 25 seconds.
There's no limit on this.
You got it.
Okay, Councilman,
You heard me.
Okay, I'll be quick. This is in regards to the whole budget. Earlier in March, we were going to introduce a budget that was 19 points. We went from 19 points, we went down to 11. We went down to 11 points, and there's an email, in which the Finance Committee was on, saying we can't do any more. Well, we said, no, we're going to do more. Residents do need more, so we went from 11 points down to 7.4. So the idea that we can't do something is a mentality that we need to get out of our heads. We can do it, and we will. And to answer the question, where will we get this 1.6? Well, I'm looking at the budget right now. I'm working on 2018, and on page 28 of the budget, just like we talked about a deferred charge, which is emergency appropriation of $2.1 million. That is a one-time hit on our budget for this year, emergency appropriation. That should not show up next year. So 2.1 right off the bat right now, we should not be starting with an expense, which would offset the 1.6 of revenue that we had in, which will leave us about 500,000 extra.
thank you, Councilman. Peter. Councilman Cosby, Councilwoman Cosby, you have 60 seconds only.
What?
60 seconds, ready?
Well, first, I wasn't going to comment here. I was waiting for the minute after. I had put my hand up too soon.
What do you mean after? After what?
I thought you were closing the meeting and we were making our 1-minute comment.
This is it. This is your 1-minute comment.
This is the 1-minute comment, limited?
Right after the public.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
We usually vote to close the meeting.
We did, to close the public comment.
Did we vote? Yes. Oh, my bad, I wasn't listening. All right, so my comments aren't about any of that. My comments are about us up here as council members, and I'm just gonna encourage us to, you know, when we do our reports, I know that on the committees that I am the chairperson, I give a report, and I would just appreciate if the other members of the council who chair committees give a report for all of their committees that they chair. Because at the end of the day, a lot of the council members made sure that some of us weren't on any committees, but we don't get reports from those committees. And then we hear later that, you know, everybody's dropping the ball. I just want to know what's happening on the committees. So if the council president could, every single committee chair should give a report for their committee or say that there is no report. Going forward, just so that the public and those of us on council who they don't talk to on a regular basis know what's happening. That's all my comments.
Thank you. And last one, Chief Parham.
Thank you, sir. I'll be brief. First, I want to thank God for the opportunity to serve the citizens of Linden. I've been here for 25 years, and it's been an amazing ride. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, council members, for your continued support. Mr. Mack, always want to thank you. And I would be remiss if I didn't talk about the amazing men and women that work within the Linden Police Department. I get to stand up here and take all the credit for the height team and for the enforcement and for all the other things that are going on. I'm not the one that does that. There are some really talented officers, really committed dispatchers and support service people that do this every day that you never see. So I want to thank them for all the hard work that they do and all of their cooperation and all these great ideas that are coming. It's really them, and I get to stand up here and take all the credit for that. So thank you to LPD and all those support staff, and again, thank all of you. God bless.
Thank you, Chief. The following council meetings will be as follows. Council conference meeting Monday, August 14th, 2017, in the Council Conference Room, City Hall, 301 Northwood Avenue. Council conference meeting prior to the council meeting, Tuesday, August 15th, 2017, at 6 p.m. in the Council Conference Room, City Hall, 301 Northwood Avenue. Council meeting, Tuesday, August 15th, 2017, at 7 p.m. in the Council Chamber, City Hall, 301 Northwood Avenue. I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion?
Mrs. Ormond? Javits?
Yes.
Brown? Brooks?
Yes.
Cosby Hurling?
Yes.
Cosby Hurling?
She said yes.
Sadowski?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Yamakitis?
Yes.
Medina?
Yes.
Hickey?
Yes.
Mr. Alvarez?
Yes. Meeting adjourned.